in classifications, as it'll be Hoisington in Class 2A, and the winner here tonight between the Panthers and the Cardinals will move on to Salina Stadium next Saturday at 1 o'clock for an afternoon kickoff against either Humboldt or Riley County. I don't think many people expected that on the east side, especially with Silver Lake and Rossville being pretty strong once again this year. But Riley County with the win against Silver Lake, and then there's Humboldt knocking off the Rossville Bulldogs. So Humboldt and Riley County going at it tonight at Riley County. Humboldt 11-0 on the season. Riley County at 9-2. Let's go and hit up our starting lineups here this evening, beginning with the Phillipsburg Panthers. 11-0 on the season. Wins against Ellis, Plainville, Smith Center, Norton, TMP, Ellsworth, Hoisington, Minneapolis, then Southwestern Heights, Lakin, and that 25-24 victory against Conway Springs on the road last Friday night. The offensive line, Noah Van Kooten, a 6'4", 245 junior, as we have left tackle, left guard, 61, Jarrett Shelton, a 5'10", 240 senior. He was ejected from the ball game the last time these two teams met up in the second half. Brock Bursch starts at center, a 215-pound freshman. Parker Dibble, a 6', 190 junior at right guard. And at right tackle, Tice Jerby, a 5'10", 275 junior. We do expect to see Casey Keaton, a 5'9", 185 senior, starting on that O-line as well. They rotate even the starters in different positions on that O-line depending on the play. At split in or the wide receiver, Ty Sides, 5'8", 155 sophomore. He has been limited in action after getting banged up. He bumped his knee on a down marker in that Hoisington game, and he has been limited since as he gashed his right above his knee. But he is in the starting lineup here tonight. Austin Miller, the starting tight end, a 6'5", 200-pound junior. In the backfield, Sharon Ellis, the senior, averaging 56 yards per game. Traylon Gross, who had the big game against Hoisington, a 6', 205 senior. Nathan Moon starts at fullback, a 5'7", 165 senior. And Trey Side starts at quarterback, 6'1", 170 senior, who throws 84 yards per game and has rushed for over 282 yards on the season. Let's look at the Phillipsburg starters. We'll take our final break, cover our pregame show, back with the Big Red Machine starters, and kickoff Hoisington, Phillipsburg in the sub-state round on 100.7 Eagle Country.
Next.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA, as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Trinity Ag, LLC, building the future together, All of Bovie Furniture and Appliance, and Landmark Implement of Phillipsburg, your John Deere dealer. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA, as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. This broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Cliffs Welding, with over 50 years of continued service to the area. Lowell Farm and Auto, your local Napa dealer. And Professional Family Eye Care, Dr. Ron Juniman. Keep it here on KKN KQMA for more Class 2A playoff action.
Open bowling Saturday 2 to 10 p.m. and Sunday from 1:30 to 7 p.m. with Sunday lane rental for only $10 per hour. Cardinal Lanes, 814 North Elm in Hoisington. Go Cardinals!
Scott Christian's Construction would like to wish the Hoisington Cardinals sports teams good luck this week. Scott Christian's Construction specializes in concrete, garages, buildings, roofing, and now suspended ceilings. Call Scott Christian's Construction at 620-617-0241.
Dr. Blake Harris and staff encourage and support all high school students who participate in extracurricular activities. A positive attitude and teamwork will not only ensure a successful season, but also a long and happy life. Good luck, Cardinals, from the office of Dr. Blake Harris, Hoisington.
Live from the Next Tech Wireless Studios at 12th and Baker. Are you ready for something different? This is 100.7 Eagle Country. KHOK Hoisington, Great Bend, Larned, an employee-owned Eagle radio station.
Hoisington fans starting to make their way in from the road trip tailgate in Phillipsburg this Friday night as the captains go out for the coin toss at midfield in Phillipsburg. The Panthers and the Cardinals for the right to get to the state championship game in Class 2A. Need to hit up our starting lineups for Hoisington. 9-2 on the season, but they went 4-1 in their district number 8 in Class 2A for head coach Zach Baird, who has 48 wins in his 5 years now with Hoisington, and he is 10-4 in the playoffs. Looking at the starting lineup on the offensive line for the Cardinals, at left tackle will be Nick Long, a 6'1", 190 senior. Left guard, Jake Speck. He's been in that starting lineup for the playoffs as he replaced Jason Bradley as he moved out from center. Speck took over for Chandler Blackwell at left guard. Blackwell shifts over for center. He's there once again, a 6'2", 220 junior. Riley Filburn, a 6'2", 285 junior at right guard. Right tackle will be Cameron Schneeweiss, a 5'8", 175 junior. Wide receiver tonight, Mason Haxton, 5'11", 160 sophomore. Did not play in this ball game against Phillipsburg in Week 7 as he ruptured his spleen in Week 1 and missed 6 weeks. Dallin Hutchcraft starts at tight end for the Hoisington Cardinals, a 6'2", 215 junior, as Phillipsburg won the coin toss, and they will receive the football. You don't see that a whole lot. Most people like to get the football to begin the second half, but Phillipsburg Panthers, they know what they did offensively against Hoisington last time, and they want to try to repeat that here tonight. In the backfield, Xavier Robinson, he has really come on strong here in the playoffs. 5'10", 165 senior. Braxton Donovan, the other wing back, a 5'10", 160 senior. Wyatt Pedigo, he needs 41 yards to get to 2,000 on the season, a 6', 200-pound junior. And Derek Boxberger, 6', 155 senior, making the start at quarterback. He's thrown for over 500 yards so far on the year. So opening kickoff just moments away, Blake. Phillipsburg will receive the football, and they gash this Hoisington defense for a lot of big plays here tonight. And if you're going to come up with a big stop, try to get it here on that first drive to set the tone early on.
Well, that'd make everyone feel pretty darn good if that happened tonight. If it does happen, the Cardinals need to sustain a drive, take some time off the clock, and get right back on the scoreboard going their way. We started out with Cimarron, and we went out there, and everyone kind of around the state, I think, was picking Cimarron for some reason. And, you know, two evenly matched teams, the Cardinals came away with a big win. Hutch Trinity, everyone for sure thought the Cardinals would not get by Hutch Trinity. Number 2 defense in the state, we did. Here we are, number 1 consensus team in the state. No one expects the Cardinals to get by Phillipsburg tonight, and maybe, just maybe, Phillipsburg is looking towards that state championship game. Every little thing that you can hang your hat on, we're going to do it tonight. And you mentioned on the east side of the bracket, all the big dogs are out of the tournament, so to speak.
Yeah, the Humboldt and Riley County,
Yeah.
Who would have thought on the east side. Hoisington making their second ever appearance in Sub-State. Phillipsburg, their 4th time in the last 5 years, as opening kickoff is here. It's brought to you by Barton Community College. Find out what drives you at Barton. It'll be Braxton Donovan to kick this one off at the 40 as Traylon Gross back deep to receive this football. Bounces down at the 20-yard line. Picked up on a bounce by Gross. Takes it right up the middle. Throws a mean stiff arm at the 30-yard line, but Hoisington stacks him up. Right after that, Chase Robinson coming in on the special teams tackle as Hoisington denies him of the 30-yard line, so not a bad start there. It'll be right at the 30 for Phillipsburg in the middle of the field, just getting started here in Peaburg.
Yeah, the thing to look for early on is can our defense do something to disrupt the rhythm of their offense, and that's a big task tonight against this outstanding, skilled team.
Trey Sides, what can you say about this guy? He has done it all. A 4-year starter at quarterback, won a state championship as a freshman. Starts out in the pistol as Cameron Schneeweiss showing blitz as the handoff over the left side. Gross has some room. Stiff arm to the 40-yard line, now to the 45, and steps out of bounds at the 44. So on 1st and 10, the first play from scrimmage, Gross takes it for 14 yards. He had a monster game in Week 7 as he rushed for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Cardinals as he goes for 14 here.
Going over to the left side, they had everyone pinned in the middle, and he had a lot of room around the end.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a jet sweep out to Sharon Ellis. Makes his way to the 50-yard line. A juke out to the 45 in Hoisington territory. And 2 big runs to begin this ball game for Phillipsburg. It looks very similar to their opening drive in Week 7 as this one goes for 11 yards out to the Hoisington 44.
Yeah, hurry-up offense, too. Not giving the Cardinals much time to set. They're going at it full steam ahead right now. 2 first downs, 2 plays.
2 plays, 2 first downs. You called it 44-yard line, and now for the Phillipsburg Panthers. Slow up a little bit. 4 wide receivers set for Trey Sides. The senior quarterback awaits the snap. Now really taking his time as he has Nathan Moon lined up directly behind him at midfield. Drops back 3 steps. Throws it. Has a man, Sharon Ellis at the 25-yard line, but overthrows him. Paxton Wyatt Pettigo over there in coverage, but there was a gap in between that coverage, but just an overthrown ball, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, one thing I like at safety, Mason Haxton, or cornerback, was coming in on the play, so we had it pretty well covered. If the ball had been on target, there would have been a collision at the reception, so brings up 2nd and 10.
Fourth play of the drive for Phillipsburg as they have it at the Hoisington 44-yard line. Played 50 seconds here in our first quarter on the opening drive. Again, that 3 running back set behind Trey Sides. He bobbled the snap, just does get the football off to his fullback, and then Hoisington decks him right at the 43-yard line. A short gain of 1 yard on the carry for Sharon Ellis as he gets his second carry here tonight, bringing up a 3rd and 9 for Phillipsburg.
Cardinals really kind of stacking the box. We do have 2 safeties, 2 cornerbacks, but in the middle, we're playing a 4-4 type of defense. We'll bring people up to the line of scrimmage on an end or 2, but we're really shooting the gaps and trying to disrupt the rhythm of their offense.
A 3rd and 9 for Phillipsburg at the Hoisington 43-yard line on their opening drive. 10:35 to go first quarter. Gross goes in motion, coming out of the slot, wide receiver possession. Screen pass goes out to Ellis, catches at the 45-yard line, and then is brought down and near the 32-yard line, and he will have the first down. Well, they needed 9 yards. Then Sharon Ellis on the pass out to the flat takes it down to the 31. It'll be a gain of 11 yards.
Made him pay for the first down, but what a beautiful play out to the flat, and then he had space.
Here's 1st and 10 play to go back to the ground game, and Hoisington is right there. They've stuffed that fullback dive so far here tonight. It's on 2 plays. Traylon Gross gets the carry this time, and not a whole lot of running room, maybe a half yard for Traylon Gross as he gets stopped at the 30-yard line. 2nd and 9 for Phillipsburg as they quickly go back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a wide receiver out to the far side, one to the near side. That's Ty Sides, and it'll be Austin Miller, the tight end, split out wide for Trey Sides, working out of the gun. 2nd and 9 here for Sides. It will be a pass, looking over to the left side of the field, throws that way into coverage. Donovan didn't look back late. Phillipsburg fans wanted a flag to be thrown as he tried to throw it out to Ty Sides, his younger brother, down near the goal line, but an incomplete pass. Sides has overthrown 2 players so far here tonight. 3rd and 9.
One thing I like about it, Sides really fast, and Braxton Donovan step for step with him, right on his shoulder. If the ball would have been on target, he had had as good a chance to catch it as the offensive player.
Moon, Gross, and Ellis in the backfield with the senior quarterback Trey Sides on 3rd and 9 at the Hoisington 30-yard line. Opening drive for the Panthers. It'll be Ellis takes it out to the left side, gets across the 30 and down to the 25. He'll be well short of the first down marker, Josh Ball, and also coming in on the tackle, Braxton Donovan. It'll be a gain of 5 yards for Ellis. 4th and 4.
Well, one thing in at 2.5 minutes into the game in the cart, they haven't scored yet, and we're making them work for it. Up the middle's been really tough. 4th down and 4, big play early in the game.
As good as this drive has been for Phillipsburg, Hoisington has a chance to get their defense off the field. 4th and 4 at the 25. Panthers will go for it on their opening drive. Hoisington showing blitz, trying to time this one just right, and Hoisington jumps early. Cameron Schneeweiss gets in across the line, and that will result in a first down for Phillipsburg. They don't even have to run a play, as they'll have it inside the 20.
How unfortunate for the Cardinals that here comes Phillipsburg right up to the line of scrimmage.
That'll be the 3rd first down, and now for the Panthers on this drive as they take it out to the 20-yard line. Play 3 minutes here on the first quarter. Handoff goes to Gross. It'll be a dive play. Now bounces it out to the right side to the 15-yard line, down to the 10, and drags the Cardinal defender inside the 10-yard line and down near the 8 or 7 as they're going right to left here in the first half. 1st and goal now for Phillipsburg on another big run for Gross.
Fake up the middle, give to Gross in between tackle and right end. A lot of space out there, and he showed a lot of speed.
4th first down of the drive. 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line, down at the 9. The Sides will give it off to the fullback again. Hoisington just trying to hold on for dear life as he continues to push the ball out near the goal line, and he is going to be marked down and near the 1-yard line. Well, Nathan Moon gets his first carry, and he is a smaller statured player, and he stays low to the field and takes it down to the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal as the Panthers quickly go back to the line of scrimmage. Sides working out of the gun, turns around, he'll keep it himself, and Hoisington will bring him down to the backfield as Holt Hanslick and also Cameron Schneeweiss come in and sack the quarterback back near the 9-yard line. It won't go down as a sack, but Hanslick gets the tackle for loss, setting up 3rd and goal back near the 10.
Yeah, what a big play by the Cardinal defense that time. Got a little too cute on that offensive play. He pulled it out there at the 6-inch line, and the Cardinals right there with the quarterback tackling him brings up 3rd and 6?
Well, 3rd and goal inside of the 7-yard line. They're going to mark it sides again, working out of that pistol look. It'll be an option play left side. Still has the football, cuts it back in, gets across the 5, and is brought down right there. Wyatt Pettigo, Mason Haxon coming in on the stop, setting up a 4th and goal near the 3-yard line for Phillipsburg.
Yeah, what a good play by the Cardinal defense. A lot of hats to the football that time. Sides had to, he broke one tackle, but it immediately was swarmed under by the Cardinal defense. 4th down, 4th and goal to go.
Big play coming up on the opening drive. 7:27 to go first quarter. 0-0 game. 4th and goal at the 3 for the top team in the state as Sides awaits the snap. A bunch wide receivers set to the right side in tight. 3 out there, 1 to the near side. Sides gets it, straight toss, goes out to Moon, makes his way to the sideline, getting chases Braxton Donovan, pushes him out to the boundary, and then Hoisington decks him at the 4-yard line. On 4th and goal at the 3-yard line, Hoisington, Xavier Robinson denies him of the end zone, and Hoisington will take over on downs.
Oh, what a big play by the Cardinal defense. Xavier Robinson pushed him wide. Why not go wide with all their speed? And then Braxton Donovan right there behind him to smack him at the 2-yard line. Cardinals stop this Panther drive to open up the game. Have our backs to the wall. Let's see if our offense can move it a little bit against this Phillipsburg defense.
No gain on that play by Moon, so Hoisington takes over at their own 3-yard line. They need to get some first downs here, or it's going to be trouble with Phillipsburg with a short field. Braxton Donovan goes in motion. Now a toss play goes out to Xavier Robinson, finds the edge, and he is close to a first down marker out near the 12-yard line. He may have been pushed out a little bit sooner of that first down marker. We'll see where they mark him out near the 10, but it's still a really good game for Robinson as this one goes for 8 yards.
Yeah, what a good play call by the staff from Hoisington that time. What do they think is going to happen? Wyatt Pettigo. Fake to Pettigo, give it to Donovan going around giving it timeout on the field, but giving it to Xavier, found space, 8-yard gain.
It was an official timeout with 6:43 to go here in our first quarter. Scoreless game. Hoisington comes up with a stop on 4th and goal at the 3-yard line against that 3rd best offense in Class 2A here in 2018. And the officials now ready to go as they respot this one, as it's going to be at the 11-yard line. Hoisington needs 2 yards to pick up the first down. Robinson on a gain of 8 on the first play for the Cardinal offense. Man in motion is going to be Donovan, as again, this one will actually go to Wyatt Pettigo as he fights for yardage. He'll be close to that first down marker. Not a whole lot more there for Pettigo, but he should be right down at the stick. And they're going to stay just a little bit short, so gain of 1 for Pettigo.
Now the Cardinals coming out with double tights, tight formation, no wing back outside. They're bringing everyone on the line of scrimmage. Phillipsburg didn't see this formation much the last game.
They need 1 yard to continue this one as they have it at their own 12-yard line. 6:18 to go first quarter. Scoreless game as Boxberger goes under center. Chandler Blackwell turns around. Pettigo might just have enough as he falls forward. He got clipped down underneath, and he falls forward for a yard, and that will continue the drive here for Hoisington as they have it out near the 14-yard line. A big 1-yard run for Pettigo.
Yeah, someone came in really low. It might be that linebacker that has 114 tackles on the year. He's quite a player. Kagan?
Yeah, Kason Keaton.
He really gets low.
Yeah, Keaton, not bad. 5'9", 185 senior, leads the team by far in tackles. Mason Haxon gets his first snap at quarterback here on 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line. Takes the handoff, and he is going to be gobbled up in the backfield back to the 10-yard line as he was met by Tice Jerby. 275-pound junior just said hello to Haxton. -2 on the play. Now 2nd and 12 back near the 12-yard line.
Well, there's a big hole on the fake on the right side, and that was a design play. And Phillipsburg seen that on film. They were ready for it, and they took him down in the backfield.
Avery Brewer, the one wide receiver for Hoisington, as they can't afford too many negative plays against a very tight Phillipsburg defense. Boxberger back in at quarterback as a flag comes out on the play, as Hoisington didn't have a whole lot of running room back over the left side, and it's going to be a legal shift going against the Cardinals as that run taken by Boxberger himself. And now a penalty going against Hoisington, as that'll be their second penalty here tonight. And that was costly as well in that first half back in Week 7. We mentioned the 2 turnovers, but then after they stopped turning the ball over, some penalties against a tough defense make it even tougher.
Yeah, just pin their ears back a little bit more in the first half last time these two teams met. But that penalty hurts like the penalty did just a little bit ago. 2nd down and 15 to go.
Boxberg goes all the way out to the far sideline here as Hoisington is their white-on-white look on the road here tonight. White pants, white jerseys, white helmets as well. Now 2nd and 17 back at their own 7-yard line as Boxberg gets the offensive set with 5:16 to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless game in the sub-state football round. Same play on the first play of the ball game. Robinson trying to find the edge, gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he is met out of bounds by Tanner Ragsdale out near the 14-yard line. So another positive gain there for Xavier Robinson, as this one will go for 8, almost 9 yards.
Yeah, good play around the end. It's just a straight toss to Xavier. It's not the read option by the quarterback as he fakes into the line and then quick pitches it to Robinson. And Xavier had the speed to get around the end. Brings up 3rd and 10.
They say he stepped out at the 15-yard line, so Hoisington will need 10 yards on 3rd down. 5:09 to go, first quarter, 0-0 here in Phillipsburg as Pedigo comes back in as the fullback for the Cardinals, as Mason Haxton, it's going to be Boxberger in at quarterback, and Brewer, the wide receiver, out to the left side. Ball on the left hash, man in motion. Boxberg takes the snap. It'll be a handoff out to Pedigo, and Phillipsburg all over that. A short gain out near the 18-yard line, as it'll be a 4-yard gain for Pedigo. 4th and 6 for Hoisington as Zach Baird sends in the punt team.
Yeah, that's all you can do deep in your own territory, but the Cardinals did take a lot of time off the clock on that short little drive, as did Phillipsburg. When they couldn't score, we're already down to 4:44 left in the first. No score.
Cole Steiner needs a good punt here. Traylon Gross back deep to receive the football at his own 45-yard line. The snap is good. Steiner puts a foot into this one, bounces down at the 45-yard line. It will maybe roll to midfield, and that is exactly what it does as it goes down to the 48 before picked up by Dylan Richards for Hoisington. 4:26 to go in our first quarter. Scoreless here, already a better start than it was back in Week 7. At this time is 21-0 in favor of Phillipsburg as they roll to a 41-0 halftime lead. But the Panthers, their offense, back out of the field as they begin this drive at their own 48-yard line. Trey Sides, he was 1 for 3 passing on their opening drive, and the leading rusher was Traylon Gross as he had 3 carries for a total of 28 yards. Sides will begin with 2 running backs behind him. That's Moon and Gross. Since Ellis in motion, goes across the field, now lines up as a wide receiver, fakes the handoff to the fullback, gives it out to Gross, and Hoisington smothers him. At the line of scrimmage, he will lose a yard. Chandler Blackwell coming in on the stick, 2nd and 11, back to the 47.
Well, you know what they'll do. They fake to the middle, and they've been running that play, not been successful, and then they go outside or try to go back and pass, or the quarterback will keep it with a run-pass option. Cardinals doing a great job in the interior defense.
Jacob Sisson now in, lined up as a wide receiver. 2 wide receivers set on 2nd and 11. Still with the ground game. Gross gets back-to-back carries as he sweeps it out to the left side. Ball comes out loose and was picked up by another Phillipsburg Panther out near the 49-yard line. It was a short gain out to the 49-yard line of Hoisington, but the fumble is going to bring it back to the 50, so it results in about a 3-yard gain for Traylon Gross, bringing up a 3rd and 8 right at midfield on the left hash.
What you like about that, that was the play that he broke loose on earlier in the game, picked up 10 yards. This time, no running room out there. We turned him inside, and a lot of Cardinals flowing to the football.
Phillipsburg averaging 46 points per game, but scoreless so far with 3:16 to go in the first quarter. They have it at 3rd and 8 right at the 50-yard line. Man in motion, Ty Sides goes behind his brother. It'll be a pass on 3rd and 8, going across the middle. Sides had it, then dropped it at the 35-yard line. Well, Ty Sides, who has been limited in playing action with a gash above his knee after getting injured in a Hoisington game in Week 7, he had the catch, first down, maybe more, but he drops it. 4th and 8 at the 50.
Wide receiver slant post pattern across the middle. Sides waited for his brother to clear our deep drop and then hit him right in the hands. And it brings up a 4th down again for this Phillipsburg offense.
Trey Sides also serves as the punter, as we have seen kind of a common theme this year with quarterbacks. Now drops back a few more yards, and Hooch punts this one over the head of Xavier Robinson, bounces down at the 10-yard line, and Hoisington will have another deep field, but they come up with a defensive stop. As Robinson can't get a return, it'll be Hoisington football at their own 10-yard line with 2:55 to go here in our first quarter, and a scoreless contest. Winner moves on to the state championship game to take on either Riley County or Humboldt, as that game is at Riley County. This was a 51-21 contest back in Week 7. Since then, Hoisington, they have won 4 straight games, including that shutout against Hutch Trinity Friday night on a cold, cold night. Not nearly as cold this Friday evening in Phillipsburg, but it continues to drop, the lowest set for 29 here in Peaburg.
You know, what these 2 drives have done for the Cardinals, maybe, you know, they're thinking, hey, we can play with these people, and it might be putting a little bit of doubt into this Phillipsburg team, which can't hurt at all.
Hoisington needs a big play right here to kind of flip the field a little bit as they begin their second drive of the game at their own 10-yard line. Haxton begins this play at quarterback, sends Donovan in motion. It'll be a give here for Hoisington over to the right side, and Haxton actually keeps it at the last second and makes his way out near the 11 on a 1-yard gain. 2:46 to go first quarter, 2nd and 9 coming up for the Cardinals.
Double tights, flexbone offense, Phillipsburg, all 11 people in the box. That's one of the reasons our pitches to Xavier Robinson to the outside have been somewhat successful, because we're able to keep the flow of the defense from getting outside just enough for Xavier to get around the end.
After the 1-yard gain by Haxton, he goes to the sideline. Boxberger comes back in for him. Pettigo lined up 4 yards behind the senior quarterback. 2:15 to go here in our first quarter in a scoreless game. Ball position at the 11-yard line. Motion goes out to the left side, and Boxberger just does give it off to Pettigo as he crosses the 15-yard line and down near the 17-yard line. Pretty good spot there, as that'll be a gain of 7 yards for Pettigo, making it a more manageable 3rd and 3 for Hoisington.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 against this defense is a long ways, but a great run that time on 2nd down, just straight blocking right up the front. Wyatt found a little crease and then dragged the rest of Peaburg's team with him for a nice gain.
Hoisington 1 for 2 on 3rd downs here tonight. They have it 3rd and 3 at their own 18-yard line. Final 90 seconds here the first quarter in a scoreless game against the top team in the state. Robinson goes in motion, and they fake the toss. It'll be Pettigo, has the first down, breaks a tackle, makes his way to the 30-yard line, breaks another tackle to the 40, 45, and then caught from behind at midfield. And Hoisington will be in Panther territory as they have a big run by Wyatt Pettigo. You're waiting for him to break one, and he finally does for 32 yards.
And at the end of the play, face mask on the tackle, so the Cardinals are going to get 15 more tacked on to that play, get down to about the 35 or 40-yard line of Phillipsburg. Boy, what a stiff arm by Wyatt Pettigo. I think it was on number 4 as he came up to tackle him. It looked like a Muhammad Ali stiff arm. He just put him to the ground, put on the speed, and then the big face mask penalty. Cardinals 1st and 10 at Phillipsburg's 32-yard line.
Yeah, it was Ellis that got that big stiff arm by Wyatt Pettigo, as that penalty on the face mask will take it all the way inside the 35 and down to the 33. Closing in on 1 minute here in the first quarter. Hoisington has finally flipped the field, now trying to do something more. Man in motion is Donovan. Boxberg gives it off to Pettigo again as he navigates his way to the 30-yard line and brought down there on a 3-yard gain. 1 minute to go first quarter. Hoisington 0. Phillipsburg 0, 2nd and 7 for the Cardinals at the Panther 30.
You know, one thing you like about it, you know, it's a 4-yard gain, which is great on 1st down, but we had some space there, and then someone, I think it's their linebacker again, tackles really low, just took Wyatt's feet out from underneath him.
They're going to give him a gain of 4 yards, so we'll call it 2nd and 6. Josh Ball comes in at fullback now for the Cardinals, as Boxberger still in at quarterback. Give goes to Josh Ball, takes it up the middle on a dive play and stacked up before he can get to the 25. Final 25 seconds here in the first quarter. Josh Ball gets his first carry here tonight, and he takes this one for 3, almost 4 yards, bringing up a 3rd and 3 for Hoisington.
Yeah, nice play. Again, good blocking along the line of scrimmage. Found a crease and was able to get down the field for 3 or 4 yards. So at the end of the first quarter coming up, that's 0-0. Cardinals come out, 2 plays to get 3 yards.
Business IT Solutions, Coombs Trucking, and Rogers & Associates Insurance in Phillipsburg. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include the Phillipsburg Pizza Hut, making it great, Olabobi Memorial Chapel, and J&R HVAC LLC in Phillipsburg. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
3rd and 3 coming out of the beginning of the second quarter with Hoisington at the 26-yard line in Phillipsburg territory. Donovan will go in motion. Boxberger straight toss behind him. Wyatt Pettigo will have the first down as someone is tugging on his jersey as he makes the way across the 20 and down near the 15-yard line. A gain of 11 yards for Wyatt Pettigo on 3rd and shorts will keep the drive moving out to the 16.
Yeah, just straight handoff over right guard, right tackle on a big crease, and whoever had Wyatt's jersey saved a touchdown because he was off to the races. But at any rate, the Cardinals are finding creases against 11 men in the box, 10 men if we have a wide receiver. They're finding creases and getting to the second level. It's a danger of crowding the line of scrimmage against this Cardinal football team.
That 10-yard run by Pettigo puts him over 2,000 yards now on the season. He only needed 41 coming in tonight. He has reached 2,000 yards in his junior season, and Hoisington running it downhill as we start this second quarter. They didn't take any time off that clock, is having some issues with the clock here in Phillipsburg to begin this second quarter, as now they will wind down some time after that first play on that 3rd and short run by Wyatt Pettigo. Pettigo is number 7 carries, 58 yards here tonight. Robinson has 2 carries for a total of 15. But the bigger story so far, early in the second quarter, just getting started, Hoisington has stopped Phillipsburg on 2 drives, including their opening drive on a 4th and goal inside the 3-yard line. Braxton Donovan made a great play to push him near the boundary, and Hoisington got that stop. So after the run by Pettigo, 1st and 10 with the ball right at the 16-yard line as Boxberger has this offense set. Donovan goes in motion, left to right. Pettigo has a seam up the middle as he fights his way out to the 10-yard line, still on his feet, inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line. It'll be an 8-yard gain for Wyatt Pettigo, and he can smell that end zone a little bit more 30 seconds into our second quarter.
Again, a crease at the line of scrimmage. You get Wyatt Pettigo into the second level, and I don't care how many times you hit him, he's going to drag half the team with you, and that's exactly what he did. Offensive line finding places to run for our running backs, and it's really paying dividends. 2nd and 2.
Haxton will take the snap at quarterback with 2nd and 2 at the 8-yard line of Phillipsburg. 11:05 to go in the second quarter in a scoreless contest. Man in motion is Robinson. Haxton keeps himself, takes around left side, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown! Well, the Hoisington Cardinals coming on the road against the top team in the state, and it is the sophomore quarterback who missed 6 weeks with a ruptured spleen. He gets in the end zone without a spleen here tonight, and Hoisington is on top by a score of 6-0 with 10:56 to go here in the second quarter.
Oh, what a great fake in the line of scrimmage. They know he's probably going to run the ball because they've seen it, and that's what Mason does. So it's a great fake to the right side to Wyatt Pettigo, and he delayed a little bit. He waited for Wyatt to clear the fake and then took off and got into the end zone.
Here's the extra point by Braxton Donovan to kick this one. It is on its way, and it is good. Special teams were big last week in the win for Phillipsburg against Conway Springs, and the Hoisington Cardinals on the road with a 7-0 lead 1 minute into the second quarter. It is quiet on the Phillipsburg side. They're not used to this. We'll be back in a minute on 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Heritage Insurance in Phillipsburg, White's Food Liner, and by Masson Motors, your home for great deals and even better service. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther boosters. Those boosters in part include E&K Insurance, the offices of Mason Miller LLP, and by Dr. Bill Miller, DDS in Phillipsburg and Hill City. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
Your locally owned Health Mart Pharmacy in Hoisington.
Hey, roughing the kicker penalty on that PAT, despite Donovan knocking that one through, will give Hoisington a chance to kick off at the Phillipsburg 45-yard line. The Cardinals on the road for the second time in the postseason here in 2018, trying to get to the state championship game for the first time in school history, on top 7-0 with 10:56 to go in our second quarter. And kicking off at the 45, Donovan boots this one as hard as he can. Fielded near the goal line, and Ty Sides tried to make a run of that one, but he had a foot in the end zone for a touchback. So Phillipsburg gets the football back for the third time here tonight. You talk about sustaining drives. That's what Hoisington has done so far, Blake, and this time they cap one off with a Haxton run.
Yeah, only 3 possessions by this Panther football team because our offense is moving the ball, and then Phillipsburg moved the ball on a long, long drive, and Cardinals stopped them on 4th and goal. A long field, but easy for this Phillipsburg team. They have a lot of weapons. Let's see if this Cardinal defense can keep up the pressure.
Gross has had some good carries already here tonight. 3 carries, nearly 30 yards. Here's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Trey Sides. The handoff goes to Sharon Ellis. Has some wiggle room out to the 25-yard line and nearly broke one, but finally brought down at the end by Xavier Robinson out near the 32-yard line. That'll be a gain of 12 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, fake to everyone going to the left side. Give it to him coming back over right tackle. A lot of space. This kid has a lot of speed. Good tackle on the end to keep him from scoring because he was the only one there to keep him from going all the way.
Yeah, Sharon Ellis kind of gets lost in that mix with that talented backfield, but he had 66 yards and a touchdown against Hoisington back in Week 7. Here's 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Man in motion is Ty Sides. They fake the jet sweep back to a fullback dive. Moon has some room. Breaks the tackle at the 40. Down to the 45-50. No one is going to catch him. Out to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Well, Nathan Moon and Phillipsburg, they had the answer to that Hoisington score. It comes with 10:17 to go in the second quarter as Nathan Moon has a big run of 68 yards.
Yeah, talk about someone being forgotten. They have enough time to run the play, fake to Gross, and another running back, and then behind a pulling guard, come back to the right side. He's built low to the ground, and at the 50-yard line, he ran right through a tackle. And after that, he was gone.
There's the best kicker in the state, Jonathan Honeycutt, who has the state record in career kicking points, and these are nearly automatic as he launches this one through. 10:17 to go in our second quarter. Phillipsburg comes back with a Nathan Moon 68-yard touchdown. Blow for blow early on. Defense has been key until these last 2 possessions. 7-7 game back in 30 seconds on 1490 AM KKAN and 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther boosters. Those boosters in part include Trinity Ag LLC, building the future together, All the Bovie Furniture and Appliance, and Landmark Implement of Phillipsburg, your John Deere dealer. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
Hoisington and Phillipsburg meeting up in the playoffs for the 4th time in these 2 schools' histories. Phillipsburg is 2-1 against the Big Red Machine, including a 35-6 win in the second round last year. That game was in Hoisington and Phillipsburg here in the sub-state round. 10:17 to go second quarter, tied up at 7.
We're on this P-Burg side. You could almost hear a sigh of relief with all the cheers. That shows you what weapons they have. They go deep in their speed weapons in the backfield, fake to everyone one way, misdirection all the way for a touchdown.
Jonathan Honeycutt will kick this one off as Hoisington sends back Donovan and Robinson. This one angled out to Donovan at the 15-yard line, takes it up the middle, has a little bit of steam, now breaks it out to the side to the 25-yard line, makes his way to the 30, 35-40, cuts it back to the middle of the field, and then he is spun down by the kicker, Jonathan Honeycutt, who also plays DN for Phillipsburg, and it brings him down right at the 47-yard line. So a good return of 32 yards for Braxton Donovan has Hoisington right back in business.
Yeah, what a great return as he kind of faked up the middle. It looked like it was going to be an up-the-middle return and broke it to the outside, had the speed to get to the outside, and gets almost to midfield. So the Cardinals in business at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10. The game is tied, 10:07 left in the second.
Boxberger takes the snap on the opening drive or opening play of this drive. Short toss straight behind him, and Pettigo had to dance around as he wiggles his way out to the 50-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 yards for Wyatt Pettigo. Just under 10 to go in our second quarter. Tied up at 7, 2nd and 6 for the Big Red Machine.
Well, this Phillipsburg defense really flows to the football on the last drive or two. Wyatt's going with the flow of the play and then cuts back as the pursuit kind of over pursues. It's kind of a cutback play at the line of scrimmage.
Two wide receiver look both to the near side as Robinson lines up in the slot, but Hoisington goes to fullback, lined up behind Mason Haxton as Pettigo gets just a yard into Phillipsburg territory as he takes it out to the 49-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 5 now for Hoisington with 9:23 to go second quarter, tied up at 7.
Now the Cardinals would like to see this drive sustained, and right now it's probably not 2 down territory. So what do? You need to get a 5-yard play out of your playbook and keep this drive alive.
Ball shading over to the right side of the field. Hoisington going right to left here in our first half. Haxton comes in at quarterback. It's again just 2 running backs behind the sophomore quarterback. Donovan goes in motion. Option play. Haxton lost it, and the ball is still loose. And I believe Pettigo is able to get back on top of the football, and he is back near the 43-yard line. We mentioned turnovers. They don't turn it over, but negative plays can cost you big time. Now 4th and 13 for Hoisington at their own 43.
Well, we've seen they can score in a big chunk on that last drive, and that time, fortunate the Panthers don't have the ball right here on the fumble. Someone was in the backfield from the get-go, disrupted the play.
So 4th and 13, Hoisington will blow their great starting field position. Now the snap goes over the head of Boxberger, has this one blocked. Honeycutt blocks it, and it's going to be inside the 20-yard line. Jonathan Honeycutt was all over Boxberger trying to punt this one away as it went over his head, had to retreat 10 yards. The block pushed it back even further. There's mistake number 1 for the Cardinals. We'll see if the defense can kind of dig in right now as Phillipsburg will start out at the Hoisington 15 with 8:13 to go in the first half.
Talk about flipping the field, boy. In 2 plays, you go from 3rd and 5 to 4th and 15, and then a punt, snap clear over the head, block punt. Phillipsburg, can't give them the ball at your own 15-yard line.
So now the Panthers, the top team in the state, 11-0, running it downhill with 8:13 to go in the second quarter in a tied ball game in the sub-state round of Class 2A. 1st and 10, side to long cadence, fakes the handoff right, trailing. Gross gets it, takes around the left side, and he squirts free across the 15-yard line, and he'll be stopped right there at the 14, as that'll be a gain of about 4, we'll say 3.5 for trailing Gross.
Yeah, nice play. The Cardinals had him in the backfield, but he cut back against the grain, not unlike Wyatt Pettigo did. Cut back against the grain to pick up those 3 yards. Their Cardinal defenses still make it tough running inside the tackles.
There's 2nd and 7 at the 13-yard line as Ellis will line up as a split back out to the left side around the tight end. They fake the handoff. Sides looking to throw, throws it short in front of his younger brother, Ty Sides, out the 5-yard line. Hoisington got enough pressure there to kind of force an errant pass as Holt Hanslick was closing in on the quarterback. 7:32 to go second quarter. Now 3rd and 7 coming up at the 13.
You nailed it right on the head. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, not just one player or 2, but 2 players. That way Sides couldn't elude the rush from one side and go to the next, so he just had to get rid of the ball, forced an errant pass, brings up a big third down play.
And Phillipsburg, they attack these plays a little bit different because they're already in field goal range with a good kicker with 7:32 to go. It'll be a short toss out to Ellis, makes it to the way to the right side, and Hoisington trips him up before the 10-yard line. And coming in on the tackle, I believe Mason Haxton. Yeah, he got low on Sharon Ellis, as that'll be a gain of just a couple of yards out to the 10-yard line. 4th and 4, and we'll bring out that talented kicker. He leads the state, and he has the state record for career points as Jonathan Honeycutt comes out.
But you have to consider this a victory for this Cardinal defense, even if they do get 3 points, giving the ball up at the 15 and keeping them out of the end zone.
It'll be a 27-yard field goal attempt for Jonathan Honeycutt on 4th and 5. Just under 7 minutes to go. Martin Holder, this one is on its way as he pushes it from right to left, and it goes through. So a 27-yard field goal gives Phillipsburg their first lead of the ball game. It comes with 6:45 to go in our second quarter, now on top by a score of 10-7. And that field goal and special teams were big last Friday night on the road against Conway Springs, as they held Conway Springs unable to convert any of their two-point conversions. Phillipsburg just did enough and also had a field goal against with Honeycutt.
Well, right now you have to consider that a big victory, even though we gave up 3 points. I mean, you give them the ball at the 15-yard line and you expect something different. But this Cardinal defense is playing a different brand of football than we did a month ago. We missed very few tackles. We're bottling up their talented quarterback. Sides, he hadn't got loose for any of his run-pass options, and we've been covering deep well on the pass. So that Cardinal defense has to feel pretty good about themselves. 6:45 left in the half. Let's get it back, no mistakes. We've already had one big one, cost us 3 points. Let's see if we can eat up the clock and get some points, Cole.
The 51 points back in Week 7, that was the most points given up by a Hoisington defense since 2008. It's also the most points given up by a Zach Baird, the led Cardinal team. Here's Honeycutt to kick this one off. Donovan Robinson back for Hoisington, down by 3 with 6:45 to go. Fielded by Donovan at the 13-yard line. Catches up the middle, makes his way to 25. Breaks it out to the 30, 35-40. Has Honeycutt to beat, but the kicker again will bring down Braxton Donovan just shy of midfield. So a very similar run by Donovan as a flag comes out late here on the near sideline. 6:35 to go in our second quarter. Phillipsburg on top by a field goal at 10-7. As they mark him down at the 48-yard line. If he could have got around the kicker, Jonathan Honeycutt, Donovan would have been able to return that. He's had 2 great returns so far here in the first half, as there is discussion with the referees on this flag on the near sideline, right in the same spot where Donovan went down. And it's going to be a penalty.
I don't know what
it's
that
going to be
means.
a sideline warning.
Well,
sideline penalty, I should say, going against Beaver. So as that play was
Wow.
coming to the Phillipsburg side,
wow,
one of
that's
the referees
a
must have-
15-yarder.
every time with that referee, if you're on that sideline and you kind of bump into somebody, that's usually when that flag comes out on those big-time runs, and he felt them over there on the near sideline, so that helps the cause for Hoisington as a penalty will push it into Phillipsburg territory at the 37-yard line. 6:35 to go second quarter, 10-7 lead for the top team in the state, Phillipsburg Panthers. The offense is set, head to go. Hunched over, gets the handoff from Boxberger, takes to the left side, and he is folded over at the 35-yard line on a gain of 1.5 for Wyatt Pettigrew.
Flexbone wing back in motion on the play. So the defense starts to shift with him, giving it to Wyatt Pettigrew over the left guard, left tackle. Short gain on the play. Phillipsburg defense had that one sniffed out. They had someone in the crease where we're going, and we couldn't get to him to block him.
Yeah, Casey Keaton was there. He's going to be there a lot. Over 100 tackles so far on the season. 2nd and 9 with 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Hoisington trailing by 3. Boxberger making sure everybody is set. Brings Donovan a little bit in further off of that left tackle. Here's the snap as Boxberger just does give it off to Pettigrew. Runs into his own teammate at the 30-yard line and then drags the Panther out near the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. It'll be a 13-yard gain for Wyatt Pettigrew. If he didn't run into one of his own teammates, he might get into the end zone, but it'll be a 13-yard gain and a first down out to the 24.
And again, space in the interior. Give Wyatt some space in the second level, and you're going to see good things happen. That time, Keaton came in and tried to take his legs out from underneath him, but Wyatt just stepped right through that tackle low and then drugged someone with him.
5:38 to go second quarter. Hoisington trails it by 3, but on the move at the Phillipsburg 24-yard line with 1st and 10. Donovan goes left to right in motion. Toss play goes that way. Grabs the low toss, cuts it back up, spins off a defender, and the football comes loose. Nick Long may have got back onto the football for Hoisington as no signal yet. It'll be a loss of about a yard if Hoisington can recover. I think Nick Long was back underneath that bottom of the pile to get that football back for Hoisington, and that will be the case. So another near disaster for the Cardinals as they recover a football again on a loose ball. It'll be a loss of about 1.5 yards, setting up second, and we'll call it a long 11.
That ball is on the field a long time. The Cardinals so fortunate. That time they had that toss sweep to Braxton Donovan, played well because the block on the outside took too long, allowed pursuit to come up and force a fumble.
Back to the 25-yard line for 2nd and 11 as we skip under 5 minutes to go second quarter. Now Boxberger drops the snap from Blackwell, and this one is going to be anybody's guess. As there are bodies all over on the other side of the 25-yard line. Hoisington doesn't seem too concerned. Boxberger does get it back, but 2 plays, 2 fumbles, both recovered by Hoisington, now 3rd and 12.
Now wasting a great return plus a penalty on it brings up 3rd down and 11. 2 plays, 2 balls on the turf, dodging big bullets, but taking away plays. Could have been positive yards. We've lost, they have it a yard, so 3rd and 11, 4:15 left in the half. Cardinals down by 3.
Paxton comes in, but not as quarterback. He lines up as a wide receiver. Hoisington spreads it up. Donovan, the only one in the backfield of Boxberger, as a left wingback. 4 wide receiver set, 3rd and 11. Boxberger hit as he throws it down the middle. Robinson jumps up and can't make the catch in the middle part of the end zone, shading off to the left side. Pretty good coverage by Phillipsburg, but Robinson was the only one that spotted the ball. He would have had to make a heck of a play if he would have brought that down. 4th and 11, still at the 25-yard line for Hoisington.
Well, that's an eyelash away from completion. Really good coverage, double covered. He was right at the goal line. A great pass, put it up there where he had a chance to catch it, but he was thrown into double coverage, but almost a completion.
Again, Hoisington will go for it all the way at the 25-yard line. 2 running backs, Robinson and Donovan, as Pettigo goes as the slot wide receiver. And now we're going to get a timeout taken by Phillipsburg, as that'll be the first timeout taken by the Panthers. Comes with 3:57 to go in our second quarter. Hoisington struck first here tonight on an 8-yard Mason Haxton rushing touchdown. But then it was Phillipsburg responding quickly. Less than a minute later, Nathan Moon had a 68-yard run. Then a snap over the head of the punter, Boxberger for Hoisington, set up Phillipsburg inside the 15-yard line, and they resulted in a field goal by Jonathan Huddecutt from 27 yards out, 10-7 Panthers.
Yeah, it's still a victory for the Cardinal defense to give up only 3 points after they went deep in their cadre of running backs and really had misdirection going and scored on that long touchdown by their third option out of the backfield to go all the way. Broken tackle hurt us at midfield. But the Cardinals now 4th and 11 and, deep in their own territory, 3:57. That's a lot of time for Phillipsburg's offense if we don't get it. But they have a long field to go. So, what would a punt do you? If you could keep it in bounds, it might gain you 5 yards. So the Cardinals going for it.
A 7th straight playoff appearance for Hoisington on the road against the top team in the state, down by 3 with 3:57 to go in our second quarter. They have 4th and 11 at the Phillipsburg 25-yard line. Paxton lines up to the near side. 3 bunch wide receivers to the far side for a senior quarterback, Derek Boxberger. Robinson over on the right side of the backfield. Boxberger gets the snap, fakes the pass, and he is going to be gobbled up by Traylon Gross as he spins him down at the 33-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 yards for Hoisington on 4th down. It'll be Panther football on a turnover on downs.
Well, and the bad thing about that is we lost about 7 or 8 yards on the exchange. The only way a pass play was going to work in that situation, because they had everyone coming on a pass blitz, and there were people in the backfield, would be a quick step drop. And if you could have designed a play or had a play called knowing that they were going to rush like that, you might have had success.
It has shifted over a little bit here in Phillipsburg as the Panthers looking to increase their 3-point lead. They fake it to the first man through. Traylon Gross makes his way to left side, and Hoisington is right there to meet him at the 35-yard line on a 2-yard gain for Traylon Gross. 3:40 to go and counting in the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, good defense again on the interior. Fake to the F guy and give it to Gross going off tackle. The Cardinals held him to a yard.
Ball right near the 35-yard line for for Trey Sides, working out of the gun. It'll be a jet sweep for Ellis. They've had success. Spin move at the 40. Still on his feet as he stumbles his way out to the 45-yard line before finally being brought down by Mason Haxton out near the 47. A gain of 12 and a first down for Sharon Ellis.
Yeah, came up and right when he was cutting upfield, he had a great spin move. We had a tackle on him, but this kid is a lot of speed, and he's dangerous.
Ellis has been the toughest player right now in the first half for this Hoisington defense. Here's 1st and 10 at their own 47, closing in on 3 minutes. Phillipsburg working with a three-point lead. Option play, late toss, goes out to move, makes his way across midfield to the 45, and then finally escorted out of bounds, shy of the 40-yard line into Hoisington territory, but another first down run on a gain of 10 for Nathan Moon.
First time they had the option play with their fine quarterback running out there. And our defense, only one player out there, one trailing the play, one in front of it. And Sides really optioned well off of. They came up on him. He pitched it wide. No one was there downfield.
Well, they call it enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of Hoisington. 3 running backs all stacked up behind Trey Sides. 1 wide receiver out to the left. That's Ty Sides. Turnaround give. Goes to Gross. Bounces off the middle. Takes it to the sideline. To the 40. 35. Hoisington loses the tackle. Then slipping down is trailing Gross at the 23-yard line. Then he's smothered by Robinson. But another big gain of 14 yards for the Panthers. All the way out to the Hoisington 23.
Yeah, Cardinals had 2 shots of him. One in the backfield. And that was a stiff arm that got him through. And then his speed got him around the second tackler. 1st and 10 at the 21, 2:28 left in the half.
Phillipsburg quickly back to the line at the Hoisington 22-yard line for a 1st and 10 play. Moon right behind Sides, so looking to pass. Airs it out to the left side. Haxton in on coverage, and the catch is made into the end zone. Touchdown. Ty Sides, who hasn't had a touchdown since week 7 against Hoisington, brings in a 22-yard reception. Haxton was draped all over him, but never looked back for the ball. Sides eyes this one in, brings it in on the left side of the end zone.
Yeah, you called it. Never looked back for the ball. It looked like it was pretty good coverage, and Sides looked back for the ball. Mason would have had to look back at exactly the right time, and what a perfect pass from 20 yards out.
And here's the kick by Jonathan Honeycutt as this one splits the uprights with 2:15 to go in our second quarter. So after Hoisington scored the first touchdown here tonight, 17 unanswered by the top team in the state, as they now have a 10-point lead with 2:15 to go in our second frame. And the mistakes. I know Phillipsburg has shown that they can go the length of the field on an 80-yard drive with that big run by Nathan Moon earlier here tonight. But the mistakes starting to rack up a little bit here in the second quarter, Blake.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Cardinals fans, it's against the Cardinal team. You know, we've been able to overcome. We've had the ball on the turf. Haven't lost a fumble, but lost big plays and yardage on those fumbles which we recovered. And then Phillipsburg is starting to dig deep into their playbook and use a lot of options they have. That last play, an example, also the quarterback option to the left side earlier in the drive. But what a perfect pass to his brother. He must have thrown that ball 30 yards in the air on a dime over the defender. We had a bad angle. I don't know if Mason would have turned around, if he could have jumped up, tipped the ball. It looked like he had pretty good coverage, but you got to find the ball.
So for Hoisington, down by 10 points with 2:15 to go here in the second quarter. They have time, but they haven't really scored in any type of hurry. They've had that sustained drive and then been able to march down the field. It's been a true march so far here tonight, so we'll see if they can get a big hitter with just over 2 minutes to go until halftime in Phillipsburg. Again, Donovan Robinson back deep to receive the kick from Honeycutt as he kicks this one short of Donovan after 2 big returns by Donovan. This one goes out of bounds out near the 20. So we'll see what Hoisington elects to do as Braxton Donovan doesn't get a chance to return this one. He's had 2 monster returns here tonight that have taken the ball out near midfield. And this time they kick away from Braxton Donovan with 2:15 to go here in the second quarter. Hoisington trails it 17-7. Mentioned this is the 4th time that these 2 teams have met in the playoffs, as Hoisington is 1-2 against Phillipsburg in the postseason. Their last win, or their only win, came back in 2009 as they knocked off Phillipsburg, but that game was in Hoisington. So this is the first ever playoff game in Phillipsburg. And after that penalty with the kick going out of bounds, that'll push the football out to the 35. And now we get the stoppage here by that sideline referee. And as Zach Baird, head coach of the Hoisington Cardinals in his 5th season, comes out and wants a quick discussion, but will make his way back out near the 30.
After the ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff, we get a penalty with that. So Cardinals starting this drive, 2:15 left in the half at their own 35.
DB under center here for Hoisington. Toss play. Robinson had to bobble it and brings it back in. Spins his way out to the 40-yard line on a gain of 5 yards for David Robinson. They've had some success with that in the first quarter. This one goes for 5 out to the 40. 2 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, a little different, though. They ran to the short side of the field, so not much space to get that pitch play to turn upfield. He kept behind a kick-out block on a pulling lineman and picked up almost 6 yards. It's a short 6, I guess.
Yeah, about 5 yards at the 5-yard line. Robinson will go out. Holt Hansley comes in, and now for Robinson. 1:50 to go and counting here in the second quarter. Ball in the left hash. Donovan goes in motion. Handoff goes to Pettigo. Makes a stiff arm to the 45-yard line. Then submarine under a couple of defenders out to midfield, as that'll be a gain of 10 yards for Wyatt Pettigo. 1st and 10 with 1:40 to go in the first half. Hoisington down by 10.
Now that number 58, that terrific linebacker, really, I mean, he's quick enough to take people's feet out from underneath them, and that's what he does. Wyatt stepped through a couple of those. Nice gain on that play at midfield.
Casey Keene coming in on another tackle for the top team in the state. 1st and 10 right at midfield in the middle of the field. Pettigo gets another carry, breaks through tackle to 45, and is finally wrestled down to shy of the 40-yard line. Nathan Moon probably saves a touchdown. It'll be an 8-yard gain for Pettigo.
Pettigo, a wrestler, state champion, has great balance and really runs with his pads low, and you can't just bring him down by hitting one leg or the other. You got to wrap him up. That time almost got away again, second short.
Hoisington needs to hurry. 58 seconds to go. They have it at the Phillipsburg 42-yard line. Boxford toss play goes out to Donovan. Has the first down on 2nd and short, but not much after that as he takes it down to the 38-yard line before he is brought down by Tanner Ragsdale. 50 seconds to go in our second quarter. Hoisington trails it by 10. They'll have 1st and 10 at the 37.
50 seconds to go. You'd like to see a big chunk play somehow by the Cardinals. We're doing pretty well on the ground. We're finding creases, but timeout on the field as they move the sticks. I think it's timeout taken by the Cards.
Yeah, Hoisington will burn their first timeout to stop the clock with 50 seconds to go in our second quarter. A touchdown will be big right here, down by 10 points, 17-7. If you're just joining us, the Cardinals, they scored first here tonight. Nobody scored in the first quarter in a shutout ball game, but it was Mason Haxton 1 minute into the second quarter getting an 8-yard rushing touchdown. So Hoisington up 7-0, but less than 40 seconds later on an 80-yard drive, capped off by a big 68-yard run by Nathan Moon. And the PAT had this one tied up with before 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Then Jonathan Honeycutt had the 27-yard field goal. And then the latest one, we saw a side-to-side touchdown pass for the Panthers on top 17-7 here tonight on their home field. Winner moves on to take on either Riley County or Humboldt in the state championship game next Saturday in Salina.
Yeah, 2 big plays, a pass play and a big running play. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Cardinals marching right now, but running out of time here in the first half. 50 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at Phillipsburg 37.
Hansley goes out. Robinson back in, coming out of the timeouts with 1st and 10. 50 seconds to go in our second frame. And now Boxford make that Haxton. He is stacked up in the backfield. I don't know if he was going to give it or not, or was a keep by Mason Haxton, but he never had a chance to even make a decision as he's brought down at the 40-yard line. And a great job by Ragsdale and Gross as well. It'll be a loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, it was like he submarined underneath the line's block, and he was at Haxton's feet when he was trying to decide what to do. If you have a defensive player, a lineman or a linebacker in the backfield during your play, it's usually not going to work well. That time, Gross really submarined and got into Haxton before the play could develop.
Well, a state title game in Salina as it shifts over 4th Class 2A next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Phillipsburg trying to get there, trying to get their second state championship in the last 4 years. As this senior class, they won the state title back in 2015, and the history has been strong for the Phillipsburg Panthers since J.B. Covington has took over the early 2000s, now in his 16th year, has 141 wins in his 16th season, and he has guided the Panthers to the sub-state round in 4 of the last 5 years. It's almost ridiculous what the Phillipsburg Panthers have been able to do. They've kind of kind of been all sorts of classifications throughout those years, but consistently good. Now the timeout, 2nd and 12 for Hoisington, as Avery Brewer lined up to the near sideline in front of the Phillipsburg sideline. For the Cardinals, Boxford comes back in as quarterback. It'll be Robinson, Donovan, the wingback. Pettigo hunched over 4 yards behind his senior quarterback on 2nd and 12 inside the 40-yard line. The handoff goes to Wyatt Pettigo, and he is wrapped up and dropped after about a 2-yard gain. He only needed a couple of yards to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Denied that. We'll call it 3rd and 11 here for Hoisington.
Yeah, at the field, kind of spread out. Wide receiver clear out here to the left side. Motion from the flex zone. Wing back on the left side. Give it to Wyatt over right tackle, and they were right there for the big tackle.
Hoisington not as much of in a hurry right now as it skips under 14 seconds as they're at the 38-yard line. Robinson will go in motion. Hacks it back in at quarterback. Donovan has some room. Cuts it back out to the 30-yard line and brought down inside the 29. Hoisington might want to take their final timeout and get one more play. We'll see what they do. And the clock might hit triple zeros here tonight and unable to get that timeout in. Hold on. As the referee makes his way over to the near sideline, because that Donovan run set him up within kind of striking distance for at least one shot, and they do get the timeout in. So Hoisington will have one more play inside the 30-yard line as they trail this one 17-7. Thought that might be a good, it's 4th down coming up, but you're going to get rid of the ball anyway. Biggest thing right now for Hoisington, you just don't want any huge disaster with a snap going over the head or just an interception here tonight.
Yeah, you don't want anything like that. Last play, Haxton in the game, and usually when he's in the game, it's going to be some kind of fake, and he's going to keep it or he's going to give it to someone. That time, we fake everything to the left side of the line of scrimmage, but it's our misdirection play to Donovan from the left wingback spot behind a pulling guard. We found space in the second level again, picked up 8 yards that time on that play. It's 4th down, but 1 second left, so we have one play. What are you going to do?
Now, remember, 2 weeks ago in the second round against Cimarron, they had the ball similar spot. It was closer to the 20-yard line. I think it was a 21-yard screen pass for Wyatt Pettigo, and he did a lot to make his way into the end zone right before halftime. See if they set up something similar here tonight. This one's going to be spotted at the 29-yard line, and it's going to have 1 second left on the clock here for Hoisington.
No 11 men in the box.
They spread it out a little bit here for that Phillipsburg defense. The Hoisington sends 2 wide receivers out to the far side. Mason Haxton will be the QB. 29 yards to pay dirt here for Hoisington. Final play. It's going to be a run play here for the Hoisington Cardinals. And Phillipsburg was not confused at all as they stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Austin Miller in on the initial hit for the Phillipsburg Panthers. Halftime is here in Phillipsburg. Back in week 7, it was 41-0. A little bit closer here tonight. The top team still on top as they lead Hoisington 17-7. Stick around to begin our halftime show right after this. 98 KKAN.
Playoff action.
The 2018 Phillipsburg Panther Marching Band and Panther Chasers would like to welcome you to the halftime show. The band is under the direction of drum major Julian Bull. They'll begin tonight's halftime show by performing to the music of Savannah, followed by Weird Rules. welcome the award-winning Panther Pacers. Pacer members are freshman Caitlin Cheney, senior captain Jordan Weisinger, sophomore Ava Stimper, senior captain Ashlyn Kennedy, junior Ashlyn Cole, sophomore Audrey Wood, and senior captain Arissa Peterson-Shea. Junior Lexi Wood is unable to perform tonight due to injury. Watch now as they perform to Applause. Charlie Ambrose from Hoisington, please come to the press box. We have your activity pass.
To 7. We'll have the team numbers and more scores across the state after this on 100.7 Eagle Country and 1490 AM KKAN.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Trinity Ag, LLC, building the future together. All the Bovie Furniture and Appliance, and Landmark Implement of Phillipsburg, your John Deere dealer. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. This broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Cliffs Welding, with over 50 years of continued service to the area. Lowell Farm and Auto, your local Napa dealer. And Professional Family Eye Care, Dr. Ron Juniman. Keep it here on KKN KQMA for more Class 2A playoff action.
52 degrees here in Phillipsburg still, but slightly breezy, making it feel a little bit colder on a Friday night, but cannot complain from what we saw and felt last Friday night. Back at home against Hutch Trinity on a cold night throughout the entire state, where it started out at 19 degrees at kickoff. At halftime, Phillipsburg on top of Hoisington, 17-7 in the sub-state round in Class 2A. Cole Ripe with you, Dr. Blake Harris here as well. And for the Cardinals, you look at this ball game, Blake, it just that second quarter, outside of that early score we were talking about, it just didn't seem like anything went right, even after some good starts. A couple of good returns by Braxton Donovan took it out near midfield, and a penalty got into Phillipsburg territory, but they just kind of stubbed their toe after that and just unable to finish things off in that second quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure real disappointing to the team and the coaching staff, because we had our opportunities in that second quarter, particularly inside Phillipsburg territory at the 30, and then we had two negative plays, a penalty and then two fumbles in a row that we were fortunate to jump on top of. But if anything was learned in that first half is that we can play with this Phillipsburg team. It's not, this Cardinal team is competing a lot better against the number one team in the state, and Phillipsburg has had to go pretty deep in their playbook to make some big plays, and two big plays is all they have, but it's enough to give them a 10-point lead going in here. Cardinals come out, halftime, it has to be really important for this Cardinal team. I'm sure the coaches pumped them up and said, hey, you've proven you can play with these guys. Let's go out there and win the game. You have to guard against the big play by Phillipsburg, as they've shown. Two big plays gives them those touchdowns, one on a picture-perfect pass play. What's Phillipsburg going to do the second half? Are they going to come out and open it up even a little bit more, get their talented quarterback out in space and let him do damage on the run-pass option? We really didn't see that the first half. And a lot of things can happen in the second half, but the Cardinals should be fired up. Only down by 10. I say only because last year, a month ago, we were down by 41 at this point in the game. Come out this first half, get a sustained drive or get Petty go in the open and have a big chunk play, get right back in it, and turn our defense loose again.
The thing is, Phillipsburg's going to score in any ball game. They have 17 at halftime, and holding the 25, which Conway Springs did last Friday night, might be as limited as you can bring them down. 25 straight games for Phillipsburg where they have scored 23 points or more. The last time they were held under 20 points was back in 2016. That was the second round of the playoffs. Larned had them on their home field in the second round, but ended up losing 14-7. The halftime numbers for the team totals: Hoisington with 127 yards on the ground, nothing through the air for a total of 127. Phillipsburg. 172 on the ground, 33 through the air for a total of 205 as Phillipsburg outgains Hoisington in team numbers 205 to 127. We'll take our final break of our halftime show. Back with the second half. Phillipsburg on top, 17-7 here at Phillipsburg. More to come on 100.7 Eagle Country and 1490 AM KKAN.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. This broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Cliffs Welding, with over 50 years of continued service to the area, Bowles Farm and Auto, your local Napa dealer, and Professional Family Eye Care, Dr. Ron Juneman. Keep it here on KKN KQMA for more Class 2A playoff action.
The Kansas State High School Activities Association conducts officials' rules meetings, training clinics, and workshops throughout the state with a view toward providing a sound educational experience for all athletes. For more information on becoming an official in any sport, contact Acacia at 785-273-5329. A public service message from your Kansas State High School Activities Association and KKN KQMA.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Agmart LLC, Phillips County Health Systems, and Farm Bureau Insurance. In Phillipsburg, call Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Shane Kinnert to see how simple insurance can be. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Next Tech, the preferred choice for business IT solutions, Coombs Trucking, and Rogers & Associates Insurance in Phillipsburg. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
Getting ready for the second half in Phillipsburg as Hoisington will receive the football as the Panthers, they won the coin toss, likely to receive the football as they put 12 minutes on the clock. Hoisington down 17-7 after scoring the first touchdown here tonight. Hoisington gives up 17 unanswered to the top team in the state that sits at 11-0 on the season. One of only two teams left that are undefeated in Class 2A here in the Final Four. Humboldt the other one, but the Cubbies, they're in trouble, down 25-8 at halftime at Riley County. So Riley County 1 half away from punching their ticket to Salina. Phillipsburg Panthers trying to do the same as they've been in this sub-state round for the last 5 years, but their season have come to an end in 3 of those 4 years. They had the state championship back in 2015 when these seniors this year were freshmen. But Trey Sides, he was still a starting quarterback for that state championship game. So Hanukkah on to kick this one off for Hoisington, or to Hoisington, as it goes over the head of Robinson and into the end zone, and a boot by Jonathan Hanukkah showed off here early on to start out this second half. Hoisington will get the football down by 10 at their own 20-yard line to begin the third quarter.
Well, you have to think these first possessions by both teams so critical in the second half, particularly if you're down by 10 points. You have the football. You hate to give a talented team a chance to go up even bigger, go up 24-7. That'd look a lot different. So the Cardinals would really love to get a sustained drive and points.
Here's the play by Boxberger with that flex bone offense behind him. Wyatt Pettigo dive play right side, takes it back to the left, but he is stacked up by Jarrett Shelton, who is ejected. The last time these two teams played in Week 7 for unsportsmanlike penalties, as he stops Pettigo for no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, as Wyatt was going through the hole, it's just a trap play on the right side over tackle and tried to cut back. Was that Shelton down low that grabbed a hold of his shoe, basically, and wouldn't let him step out of it. So
and now Haxton comes in at quarterback here for Hoisington on 2nd and 10, still at their own 20-yard line. Donovan goes in motion. Pettigo back-to-back carries, breaks through a tackle at the 25-yard line, out to the 30. As he breaks it to the 35-yard line, cuts it back up the middle. There is a flag on the play as Wyatt Pettigo takes it down to the 41-yard line on a gain of 21 yards for Pettigo. But a flag is back inside the 30-yard line as Hoisington starts walking back the other direction to erase that 21-yard run by Pettigo.
Yeah, the Cardinals really hurt that time on A holding penalty.
Blocking the back going against the Big Red Machine.
Blocking the back. Really hurt by that is a big run by Pettigo. And now all of a sudden, instead of being out close to midfield, 40-yard line plus, we are back in second down. The block in the back was called downfield, 2nd and 11. But nice play that time by the Cardinal offense.
Just getting started in the third quarter, played about 50 seconds. Hoisington, the opening drive of this third quarter. One wide receiver near side, flex behind Boxberger. Handoff goes to Xavier Robinson, spins his way out to the 20-yard line on a pickup of about 2, almost 3 yards for Xavier Robinson, bringing up a 3rd and 9. Now for Hoisington, down by 10.
Yeah, a little different use of Xavier from the right wingback spot. A lot of times he goes in motion. That means if he gets the ball, he's going wide. This was over guard tackle, picked up a couple.
Now it's Haxton in at quarterback. It's been a revolving door at QB for head coach Zach Baird and the Big Red Machine. 3rd and 9 at their own 21-yard line. Option play, toss quickly out to Xavier Robinson, cuts it up the middle and bursts his way through for a first down to the 35, and then drags a convoy of Phillipsburg defenders out to the 45-yard line and down at the 47. A 26-yard run by Xavier Robinson on 3rd and 9. And there's a lot of pushing and shoving going off to that tackle as they bring him down at the 47.
Yeah, great play by the Cardinal offensive line and the quarterback. Fake to Pettigo going over right tackle, and again in motion going to the left side was Xavier Robinson, not going wide, going over left tackle. He cut it up the hash mark. And at midfield, we have a personal foul.
Yeah, there's a personal foul on that tackle of Xavier Robinson, so tack on 15 more. He took it all the way down to the 47-yard line. Now Hoisington will have it near the Phillipsburg 38. Cardinals on their opening drive, 10:25 to go third quarter, down by 10, 17-7. Robinson has been effective. He has really come on strong. He was kind of battling some hip injuries early on the season. He's healthy, playing well. 4 carries, making 5 carries now for 49 yards. Out to the 38-yard line for Haxton, still in a QB, takes himself around the left side, has a seam up to the left side, and brings it down for an 8-yard gain close to the 30-yard line. So an 8-yard gain for Mason Haxton, staying in at quarterback for Hoisington.
Yeah, fake to Pettigo going on the right side, and again, he carried out the fake. He looked like he hesitated for a blink before he took off over the left side guard. Fake to Pettigo, right side, little hesitation, and then picks up big yards on first down.
Blackwell, who started at center, is out. Jason Bradley comes in at center now for Hoisington to begin the second half. 9:42 to go. Hoisington has it 2nd and 2 at the Phillipsburg 31-yard line. Pettigo has the first down as he maneuvers his way close to the 25 on a 6-yard gain for Wyatt Pettigo to move the chains.
Yeah, Robinson going in motion, this time from the left side to the right side, and it looks like it could be the toss sweep to him going around the right end, but instead, backside handoff to Pettigo, hesitated a little bit, and then went over left side. Easy first down yardage. Cardinals marching on this Phillipsburg defense. 1st and 10 at Phillipsburg's 24-yard line.
Well, there was a lot of rotation at quarterback, but Haxton continues to lead this drive for Hoisington. Down at the Panther 24-yard line, almost 3 minutes into our second quarter. Pettigo, Donovan, Robinson in the backfield. Robinson goes in motion, stops in the middle. Handoff goes to the dive play to Pettigo. Right up the middle, not a whole lot there. Some extra pushing going on over by Avery Brewer. And Phillipsburg Panther on the sideline. That was Ragsdale. Make it gross. That'll be a 2.5-yard gain for Pettigo.
That was what you call a quick hitter right up the gut. Just quarterback takes it, doesn't turn around, just hands off to Pettigo. Kind of like the old T dive play to the halfback. Picked up 2.5 yards on the play.
Dallin Hutchcraft in as a tight end. He's lined up on the right side of this line. 8:36 to go, third quarter. Hoisington trails it by 10 on the road in the Sub-State round of Class 2A. Haxton just does get the handoff before he hits the field here in Phillipsburg as Pettigo continues to move that pile forward across the 20 and down near the 17. About a 4-yard gain for Wyatt Pettigo, bringing up a 3rd and 3 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just almost a disaster in the backfield that time. I couldn't even tell if Pettigo had the ball or Haxton followed him through the hole. But it brings up 3rd down, and 3rd down and about 3 yards to go. 2-down territory.
At the 18-yard line here for Hoisington as this drive started out at the 20 for Hoisington. Josh Ball in at a fullback as Haxton runs it himself, and he is pulled over. A flag comes out after Haxton was folded over in a great tackle by Noah Van Kooten, 6'4", 245-pound junior for Phillipsburg, and that penalty goes against the Hoisington Cardinals with just under 8 to go here in this third quarter.
Well, you know, as a result of the play, the Cardinals have a holding call. Really hurts them. The Cardinals have been hurt by penalties, as Phillipsburg's had some penalties hurt them also. But the Cardinals that time, that play looked like a disaster from the beginning. Mason probably should have handed off the ball instead of trying to pull it out, but hindsight's really easy.
Now Haxton's out, lined up as a wide receiver. Boxberger in for 3rd and 13 at the Phillipsburg 28. Screen pass, Donovan catches it on a run, makes the move at the 20-yard line, then he is spun down out near the 18. So that's a positive gain after that penalty for Hoisington, as it'll be a pickup about 9 yards. First completion for Boxberger here tonight, bringing up a 4th and 6 for Hoisington, and the ball is going to be near the 20.
Yeah, nice positive yards to get back with a shot at getting this first down, 4th and 5. Perfectly thrown flare pass to Donovan, and he made a couple moves to pick up a couple more. But, you know, going from that deep 3rd down, 4th down play.
Hoisington needs a big play here, 4th and 5. Both fan bases on their feet. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Hoisington down by 10 at the 19-yard line of Panther territory, and they'll whistle this one dead on a 4th and 5 play. If it's an encroachment call, it's going to be right near that first down marker.
It looks like that's what it's going to be. Wow.
So we'll see if it's enough for the first down. They are moving the chain. So Hoisington, they gave up a first down in that variety in the first half, and they get one here to keep this drive now down to the 14.
Now the Cardinals gave Phillipsburg a gift with a holding call, and now Phillipsburg comes right back in on an encroachment play. 1st and 10, Cardinals inside the 15.
6:46 to go, third quarter. Long drive here for Hoisington to begin this third quarter. Boxberger in at the QB after a lot of series with Haxton. Robinson goes in motion, toss play, a lot of pressure in that backfield, but Robinson somehow wiggles through a tackle in the backfield and continues to skate down the sideline before he is decked out of bounds.
Oh, another penalty.
So it was a 4-yard gain out inside the 10-yard line for Xavier Robinson, but as Blake mentioned, another penalty going against Hoisington. So a lot of flags coming out in this opening drive on both teams, and it's going to be a holding penalty going against the Cardinals. Zach Baird not overly happy as he looks back to the huddle for the next play.
Yeah, the bad thing about it, they call it in the backfield, going on the backside. So the Cardinals now, they still have first down, but it's first and a good 22.
6:32 to go in our third quarter. Hoisington has chewed up 5.5 minutes of this third quarter, but they need to cap this one off, and now shooting themselves in the foot with 1st and 22 back out the 26-yard line as they get that flex offense started, as it'll be a keep by the quarterback. Mason Haxton bounces off one defender, then brought down by Sharon Ellis at the 22-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 for Mason Haxton, and bringing up we'll call it a 2nd and 18.
Yeah, full half of the third quarter is taken up this drive by the Cardinals. Both teams getting penalties. The Cardinals getting a heavy dose of them here, having to fend off 2 holding calls. 2nd and 20 right now, coming up at the Phillipsburg 22-yard line.
Hoisington only 2 plays that have gone for over 20 yards so far on the night. They have 2nd and 18. As Robinson goes in motion, right to left. It'll be a pass for Boxberger. Throws to the flat. Caught at the 20 by Pettigo. Makes his way to the 15. Down to the 10. And then spun down at the 5-yard line. As finally bringing him down is going to be Kason Keaton. But it'll be Wyatt Pettigo all the way to the 6-yard line on a passing catch of 16 yards.
Yeah, big play that time again. Derek Boxberger faked interior, rolled to the right. Pettigo releases. Perfect pass over a defender. And Pettigo was trying to make a move down there, and Keaton came up from behind and tackled him. But Cardinals third down, 2 to go.
Now they just need 3 yards. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. A long drive by the Cardinals, down by 10 at the Phillipsburg 11. Boxberger turns around, bestows the football to Pettigo, makes the juke at the 5-yard line, and then he is brought down out near the 2 or the 3. He is going to be close. He only needed 3 yards for the first down, so 1st and goal for Hoisington.
1st and goal inside. What are they marking him at? The official over there has his foot inside the 1. No, they're
going to be around the 2-yard line.
Around the 2-yard line. So Man, what a drive so far. I haven't scored yet. First and goal to go from the 2.
They have that 5 down lineman set here for that Phillipsburg defense, and they crunch in everybody else here at the 2-yard line. Pedigo, as he folds over behind his senior quarterback, Derek Boxberger, 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Pedigo gets the carry, stopped initially, second push as he threw, and they're going to say he's down. That sideline referee from about 15 yards away can see through the pile, and he says Pedigo's knee is down at the 1-yard line, second and goal.
Yeah, kind of a quick whistle. They've been letting the pile kind of go on tonight, but the knee must have been down, so Pedigo made more than half of that. Second down, goal to go inside the 1-yard line.
4:07 to go in the third quarter. Hoisington needs a yard to finish this one off. Boxberger still in at quarterback. All tight ends in. Pedigo just trying to blast his way through it, and he has it as he explodes into the end zone. Touchdown, Hoisington. Just under 4 to go here in our third quarter. Hoisington gets a score to start out the drive on a drive that ate up over 8 minutes on the clock, and now they're within 4 of the top team in the state.
Yeah, what a drive. 17-play drive, overcame numerous penalties on the play. Phillipsburg helped us out with an encroachment, but we moved back from there. But 17-play drive, 3:56, so that's an 8-minute, 4-second drive, and Cardinals get in the end zone.
Down by 4, Hoisington will kick the extra points as Donovan is on. Brewer his holder as the kick is on its way, and it is good. That is something that has improved throughout the season for Braxton Donovan. A 3-point game in Phillipsburg. Hoisington trying to knock off Goliath on a Friday night in the sub-state round. Down by 3. Phillipsburg 17, Hoisington 14. 3:56 to go in our third quarter. Back in 30 seconds on 1490 AM KKAN and 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Heritage Insurance in Phillipsburg, White's Food Liner, and by Masson Motors, your home for great deals and even better service. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
The fight in the Cardinals eating up 8 minutes, 8:04 to be exact, in the third quarter. And it's capped off by a 1-yard rushing touchdown for Pedigo, his 29th TD of the season.
Yeah, that's a great drive. And one thing you can't overlook, that defense was out there for 8 minutes, and they Cardinals kept getting penalties, and we overcame them. That has to wear down a defense a little bit, which a lot of those players play offense too. So let's see if we can get a stop, it could be huge.
Donovan end over end kick, and I think one of the Hoisington Cardinals jumped early on that special teams play on the kickoff, so they're going to scoot this one back, and that's always a tough one to call. 3:56 to go here in our third quarter. Hoisington down by 3, 17-14, so they'll scoot it back 5 yards here for Braxton Donovan, and trailing Gross and also Nathan Moon, who are already kind of scooting in already, as Donovan doesn't have the biggest leg out there in the state, as they are out near the 20-yard line, and they're going to get a little bit closer now on that 5-yard penalty back to the 35.
Yeah, the official who called it is over talking to our kicker, evidently explaining what he saw. But again, another mistake. It's only 5 yards, but man, you hate to give away any yards to the number 1 team in all of Class 2A.
A good showing from Hoisington fans. It's been a fun week in the Hoisington community. A lot of pep rallies, as they had a really good one yesterday afternoon at Hoisington High School, and the coaching staff did a little dance for the crowd as well. They love to do some dancing after this one, as now Donovan angles it out to the left side, but it goes out of bounds. And a penalty flag again comes out. We saw Johnson Honeycutt trying to kick away from Donovan, and this time Donovan kicks it out of bounds for Hoisington. 3:56 to go in our third quarter, 17-14, and Hoisington finally puts a stop on that 17 unanswered points by the Phillipsburg Panthers in that second quarter, and they're back to within 3 against the top team in the state. The Panthers sitting at 11-0 on the year. A lot of blowout wins until last Friday, that 1-point win against Conway Springs, 25-24. Conway done a lot of similar things what Hoisington has done, just running it downfield on them right up the middle. They had their chances. Conway Springs led pretty much the entire game, but their biggest lead was 8, and special teams were big. And we're kind of seeing special teams be big right now. Hoisington 2 for 2 on their PATs, but a 27-yard field goal by Jonathan Honeycutt is the difference so far here tonight.
Yeah,
So after that penalty, kicking out of bounds, they're going to sort it out to the 40-yard line for the Panthers.
Yeah, too bad. That's great field position. Another mistake on special teams. Offsides, then kick it again and go out of bounds. Another penalty. So great field position to start out this drive.
Nathan Moon, the only running back behind at Trey's side. 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Ty sides goes to motion. They fake the jet sweep. It'll go up the middle to Moon, but Hoisington tracks him down after a 1-yard gain to the 41-yard line. And a good job by the Cardinals again. They stuffed that dive play. Chandler Blackwell, Wyatt Pettigo, and also Holt Hanflick in on the tackle. 3:42 to go, third quarter, 17-14, Phillipsburg.
Yeah, great pursuit. Great hats to the football on this Cardinal defense, particularly on the up the middle plays, and they've been able to contain the outside plays also here lately.
Now 3 running backs bunched up in this pistol look behind Trey's sides. Takes the snap, takes the first guy. It'll be Traylon Gross. Dive play left side, and Hoisington grabs him around the ankles and brings him down as shy of the 45-yard line. Chandler Blackwell in on the tackle. It'll be a gain of 4 yards, or make it 3 for Traylon Gross, bringing up a 3rd and 6 with the ball at the 43-yard line. And Phillipsburg quickly runs back to the line of scrimmage. This time, 3 wide receivers, far side bunched, 1 to the near side, Ty side. Working out of the gun is Trey. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Panthers up by 3 with the football. They zip it across the middle. It's caught by their tight end, as it'll be Austin Miller catching it at the Hoisington 42-yard line. So a quick play back to the line of scrimmage. They strike quickly through the air, and it is a pass for a first down.
Last time was to Trey's side. Same play. His brother coming across the middle. Tight end exits to the outside. Great pass.
12-yard gain. Phillipsburg quickly goes back to the ground game. Traylon Gross tries to lay down a stiff arm, but Hoisington holds on to him. Josh Ball comes in on a good tackle out of the 40-yard line on a 2-yard gain for Traylon Gross.
Yeah, he's been hit pretty hard tonight, not unlike that time, a 2-yard gain. But to have the passing weapon so important to this Phillipsburg team and really tough on defenses, that was a quick pass play for a big first down. Brings up 2nd and 8 right now at the Cardinal 40.
Josh Ball again playing a DN here for Hoisington. Nick Long on the other side, 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line for the Phillipsburg Panthers, on top by 3 late in this third quarter. Option play opposite side, late pitch as they're going to go out to Ellis, and Hoisington blasts him at the 39-yard line. Maybe a yard at best for Sharon Ellis, and Hoisington stops that option play, and one of the Panthers, I believe Ellis, still on the field here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of hats to the football that time. A lot of speed running. It tells you how good this Cardinal defense is playing to be able to stop that play. As Ellis is on his back on the field, it will bring up a 3rd down and 8 to go. You hope he's okay. He's not moving much right now, but the coaching staff and trainers over there, as the stadium on both sides goes pretty quiet.
Yeah, not a good sign, and hopefully Sharon Ellis is okay. I mean, he's been the difference maker here tonight. I know the big run by Nathan Moon is 68 yards, but Ellis has had some big 3rd down runs, or at least runs to pick up first downs to extend drives for Phillipsburg. He has 7 carries, 44 yards on that run with that win for no gain. This is a senior, one of many seniors for Phillipsburg, as they have 12 seniors here in 2018, and all those seniors won a state championship back in their freshman season in 2005, and they continue to make their push in the playoffs again in 2018. For the last 5 years, the Panthers have been in the sub-state round and trying to get into a state title game to take on either Riley County or Humboldt, as training staffs continue to look at Sharon Ellis over on the other side out near the 40-yard line. 1:52 to go in our third quarter. Hoisington took up over 8 minutes on the opening drive of the second half to pull back to within 3, 17-14, as they look at Sharon Ellis. We'll be back in 1 minute on 1490 AM KKAN and 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA, as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include E&K Insurance, the offices of Mason Miller LLP, and by Dr. Bill Miller, DDS in Phillipsburg and Hill City. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Trinity Ag, LLC, building the future together. All the Bovie Furniture and Appliance, and Landmark Implement of Phillipsburg, your John Deere dealer. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
Sharon Ellis, one of the four heads, and that four-headed monster in the backfield for Phillipsburg. The good sign, getting up off the field on his own as he slowly walks over the sideline, but not receiving any other help. So has his helmet off as he comes to the sideline for Phillipsburg as he got hit for no gain. As he goes to the sideline, the Panthers will come back out for a 3rd and 7 play with the ball at the 39-yard line in Hoisington territory. 1:52 to go in our third quarter. The Cardinals within 3 points of the top team in the state, Phillipsburg, who all season long they have been at number 1 with the state championship on their mind. They have a 3-point lead against the Hoisington Cardinals and a 3rd and 7 at the Cardinal 39-yard line.
All right, watch the pass play.
Ragsdale comes in to replace Sharon Ellis in that pistol look behind Trey Sides. 3 running backs behind the senior. He turns around, fakes the give, rolls out left side. Josh Ball giving chase on him, throws it across his body. It's caught by Ty Sides at the 25, and then smoked out of bounds by Mason Haxton. What a catch by Trey Sides, or make it Ty Sides, out near the 25.
And what a play by his brother, the quarterback. He was on a naked reverse coming to the left side in pursuit, barely got it off. What a huge play.
Phillipsburg quickly back to the line as they have it at the Cardinal 24-yard line. Hoisington did an excellent job as a flag comes out from this near sideline referee. With 1:28 to go in our third quarter, Phillipsburg leads it by 3, and a great play by the Sides brothers. As we'll see what the call is going to be. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty going against Phillipsburg. And J.B. Covington can't believe it as he comes over and gets an explanation from that sideline referee. Now, that sideline referee has been very active here tonight, and I'm not saying rightfully so, maybe, but he has been involved in a lot of plays. So that penalty will scoot it back to the 38-yard line with 1:28 to go here in our third quarter.
What a huge penalty called against the Phillipsburg Panthers.
So it's still first down, but 1st and 25 now for Phillipsburg as they spread it out a little bit. Ty Sides goes in motion. Trey lets him run behind him, fakes the pass out in the flat, looks downfield, now steps up in the pocket. He'll run forward, throws across his body, caught again at the 30-yard line. Gross has it going down the sideline to the 15-10, and then runs by all the defenders for Hoisington, and it is a touchdown, Phillipsburg. Well, Traylon Gross catches it out on the sideline and just sped his way through the Hoisington defenders as he takes it in for 38-yard score.
Well, fans, if you can picture Patrick Mahomes on a scrambling flick of the wrist on the run pass, as the Cardinals had it covered great initially because he looked left, he looked right, it collapsed, the pocket did on him, he took off on the run, and in full stride, he just threw a sidearm to a wide open player, and he took it into the end zone. What 2 terrific plays by their outstanding special quarterback, Sides, as the first down he got just a little bit ago, and then that play to overcome a huge penalty on the run, just flicks his wrist in on a dead run. I mean, what an outstanding play. I don't know how you stop that. That is just a special player making a special play. And as the Cardinals get the ball back with 1:17 left in the third, down by 10 points again.
And just Phillipsburg has had that answer every time Hoisington has had that big score, including the first score of the ball game. Haxton had an 8-yard run for a touchdown, and then less than 40 seconds later, you saw Nathan Moon going down the right sideline for a touchdown. Hoisington has an 8-minute drive capped off by a tough 1-yard run by Pettigo, and then Phillipsburg makes it look easy despite a penalty. They go 38 yards for a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable play by Trey Sides. I mean, the Cardinals' initial coverage really, really good, but he breaks containment out of the pocket as it collapsed, and then on a dead run just flicks his wrist about 15, 20 yards to a wide open running back. That long into the play, no one was on him. and he had a clear path down the sideline.
So not only does Hoisington need to continue to score, but eventually they at least need to hold them to a field goal to get it back to a one-possession ball game. Robinson backpedals, catches it at the 3-yard line, now makes a run up to the 15, to the 20, then right down as it's going to be Kason Keaton coming in on the special teams tackle as there will be a return of 15 yards for Xavier Robinson, make it 17 yards, close to the 20-yard line. 1:13 to go in the third quarter. Hoisington down by 10 once again, 24-14.
Well, both teams, they shown they can overcome big penalties like Phillipsburg did, like the Cardinals did on the last drive. Another 17-play drive, 8 minutes would be really good right now.
Saw a lot of hacks in that quarterback on that opening drive of the ball of the second half for Hoisington. It'll be Boxberg to begin this drive at their own 20-yard line. Robinson goes in motion, right to left, ball on the right hash. Wide Pedigo has it, but spun down at the line of scrimmage. And a late darting hit there by Phillipsburg as Pedigo is already going down to the field. May draw a flag going against the Panthers, and that is going to be the case. That was kind of a headshot there as a late helmet shot coming into the torso of Pedigo.
Looked like a spear to the helmet to me.
And they are going to wave that flag off. Wyatt Pedigo has already spun down to the ground, and Phillipsburg came in and hit him late out in the field, and they're going to wave that flag off. 1:06 to go in the third quarter. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10, and now for the Cardinals as Pedigo tries to bounce back. 2 wide receiver, make it a 1 wide receiver set as the tight end lined up on the left side here for the Cardinals. 2nd and 10, and down by 10, just over a minute to go in our third quarter. Option play toss. Donovan has that 20, little seam to the 25, caught from behind by Jonathan Hunnica. Ball comes out loose, and Avery Brewer may have saved the football for Hoisington out near the 26-yard line. That is the second time that we've seen Donovan cop up the football on a run.
Yeah, and unfortunately, again, we are out within a yard of the first down, and all of a sudden, we're back 4 yards because the ball did come out, and it went towards Phillipsburg's goal line, so brings up 3rd and 4.
Final 40 seconds of the third quarter. Hoisington needs to take it to the 30-yard line of Phillipsburg, or their own territory, as Robinson goes in motion, left to right. He gets the toss, cuts it back up to the middle of the field, and Phillipsburg starting to track him down and push him back to the inside. He'll be a yard short out at 29, and the Cardinals, who could let this clock wind down in the third quarter, will have a big decision. 4th and less than a yard inside their 30.
Yeah, huge decision right now. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, because it's 4th and a foot, but we're inside our own 30-yard line, and as explosive as this Phillipsburg offense is, and we have had a punt snap over the head of the punter. What are you going to do, Coach Baird? Big decision.
Hoisington trying to win their 3rd straight road playoff game tonight, but it's a tall task against the top team in the state. 3 quarters in the books. Hoisington down by 10 on the road, 24-14. Back in a minute on 1490 AM KKAN and 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. This broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Cliffs Welding, with over 50 years of continued service to the area, Bull Farm and Auto, your local Napa dealer, and Professional Family Eye Care, Dr. Ron Juneman. Keep it here on KKN KQMA for more Class 2A playoff action. You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther Boosters. Those boosters in part include Agmart LLC, Phillips County Health System, and Farm Bureau Insurance. In Phillipsburg, call Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Shane Kinner to see how simple insurance can be. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
Hoisington appears to go for it here on 4th and 1.
It's 4th and a foot.
4th and a foot. The scoreboard here in Phillipsburg has been questionable. They have it at 4th and 2, but it's 4th and less than a yard here for Hoisington at their own 29, down by 10. They start out this fourth quarter against the top team in the state on the road. They go for it. tight. Two tight end look here for Hoisington. Donovan goes in motion. Handoff wide. Pettigo. He has to fight his way forward, and he needs the forward progress to pick up this first down, and it should be enough out to the 30-yard line, and it gets just enough to continue this drive for the Cardinals as we get underway in the fourth quarter. Hoisington down by 10.
Over Riley Philipsburg on the right side, straight handoff to Pettigo out of the B-back slot, which is right behind the quarterback, and boy, he got it with a foot to spare, I'll say, but brings that big play. You know, you had a feeling Coach Baird's going to go for it, confidence in this team. Cardinals have a first down.
Pettigo with 136 yards rushing on 24 carries here tonight and a touchdown. 11:36 to go in the game. Boxberg to throw, looking deep downfield, airs it in a double coverage. This one tipped up into the air, still tipped, and nearly intercepted, and a late flag comes out. Robinson trying to juggle it between two defenders as Nathan Moon and also Tyler Martin nearly had the interception as it was a juggling act, and a late flag comes out. And it's going to be a penalty going against Hoisington. They're going to call it pass interference going against Xavier Robinson in double coverage. Wow.
That is a tough one to understand right there. Xavier went up for the football between two defenders, and they call offensive pass interference. Tough one to figure out. That's the call, and all of a sudden, now we're first and Plainville or something like that. First
That's back to Stockton right now. 30 seconds into our fourth quarter. First and 25. Now for Hoisington, big call. That has been the difference. Hoisington doesn't have the turnovers here tonight, but the penalties have cost them dearly so far here this evening, down by 10. Late toss goes out to Donovan as he makes his way out to the far edge, and he is rolled over out near the 20 on about a 4-yard gain for Braxton Donovan.
You know, one thing about that last pass play, we're starting with double wide receivers clear to the sideline. We don't do that much, and we threw down the middle to Xavier Robinson on that last play where we got the penalty. If he'd have looked over to the left side, the person that left to double coverage left Mason Haxton wide open in the flat. I'm sure the coaches saw that. If Derek would have just looked and then looked over here, we'd have had it.
Haxton and Boxberg in the ball game. Haxton lined up as a wide receiver as he makes his way out to the far sideline. 11:21 to go fourth quarter. Hoisington trails it by 10, 24-14. Robinson goes in motion this time. Boxberg to throw again. Screenplay set up for Pettigo. Catches it in the backfield. Now makes a move at the 25-yard line, but then runs into a wall of defenders and bursts through. Takes to the sideline to the 40, 45, then finally decked out of bounds near the 50-yard line. Wyatt Pettigo, the magician on that play, somehow he escaped 3 tacklers and makes his way into Panther territory at the 48. That'll be a gain of 32 yards.
Well, we saw Trey Sides make some special plays. That was a big special play by Wyatt Pettigo. A screen pass perfectly run by Derek Boxberger, and Wyatt picked up about 7 yards, but then somehow he broke about 4 tackles and picked up the first down.
That was an impressive run out in the catch by Wyatt Pettigo at the Phillipsburg 48-yard line. 1 minute into the fourth quarter. It's going to be a give going to Wyatt Pettigo as he tries to close in on that 45-yard line. Stopped short at the 44 as he was running behind Riley Philburn. It'll be a gain of 2 yards for Pettigo, bringing up 2nd and 8 at the Panther 45.
Yeah, right up the gut that time. Wyatt Pettigo just line search, got him 2 yards, and that was it. But it sets up other plays in this flex zone.
Hoisington kind of picking up the pace a little bit, at least getting to the line of scrimmage, down by 10 points, a minute and a half into our fourth quarter. One wide receiver is going to be Haxton here to the near side. It's going to be a handoff again. Wait, tossed out to Robinson, makes the cut, stacked up by Nathan Moon as he brings him up in the air and brings him down in a wrestling move out near the 30, we'll make it the 44-yard line. It'll be a run of 1 for Robinson.
Yeah, they made some adjustments on our wide plays that time. There were way too many people outside, barely got the pitch off, and when he got the pitch, he had to cut back inside immediately right into the pursuit of the Panther defense.
Now Hoisington needs a 3rd and 6 play at the Panther 44-yard line with 9:48 to go in our fourth period, with the Cardinals down by 10. Haxton fakes the handoff, runs it over to the right side, spins off one defender to the 40-yard line, and continues to try to put his back into those Panther defenders as he will gain 4 yards. And you would imagine another 4th down coming up for Hoisington, where they'll go for it as they have it in Panther territory. 4th and 2 coming up.
Yeah, big play again, 4th and 2, not a 4th and a 5th. That was a nice play by Mason as he's really timing that a lot better on the keeper fake, either to Pettigo or keep it. He's hesitating a little bit, waiting for a crease.
Two tight ends now come into the lineup for Hoisington on 4th and 2 at the Panther 40. Hoisington needs this, down by 10 with 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Boxberger surveys the defense, bunched up in that box for Phillipsburg. He turns around, wide Pettigo dancing in the backfield, has to go low, and I don't think he got it. He'll be a yard short on 4th and 2 as Phillipsburg, they're ready for the 33 train, and they deny him of the first down. A turnover on downs, Panther football at their own 39.
Yeah, someone came in low. They had too many people. Wyatt Pettigo just straight handoff over right side guard and tackle. Someone hit him at the shoe tops, and then someone else brought him down, denying him by a good yard. All of a sudden now Phillipsburg with the football up by 10, 8:54 left in this football game.
That's be intimidating when you get the handoff and you see 9 guys staring down the barrel at you. 8:54 to go in our fourth quarter. Here's Sides out of the pistol. It'll be a jet sweep out to Ty Sides, 45-50. Flag comes out as Mason Haxton spins him out of bounds here on the Phillipsburg territory. And Panther fans wanting a late tackle there by Haxton as he spun him out halfway to the track. But a flag comes out near midfield on that jet sweep by Ty Sides. Remember, this is a kid that's been played limited so far since that Week 7 matchup against Hoisington, as the holding penalty will bring this play back on the Panthers.
Yeah, called about 8 yards downfield. So that will bring first down again, first down at about, 12, 13 yards. But Trey Sides, when he has the ball in open space, is really scary, as you saw in that play. A lot of quickness, a lot of speed, built low to the ground. Jet sweep to him is a dangerous play.
Yeah, you don't want Trey or Ty. You're just kind of hoping maybe they had basketball in their minds. They're both really good basketball players, especially Trey, who is the 3A basketball player of the year last year. 8:45 to go in the fourth quarter. That penalty brings it back to a 1st and 13 at the 36-yard line in Phillipsburg territory. Handoff goes to the right side, and Traylon Gross, he is not going to get much as Hoisington is all over the senior running back, as that'll be a 1-yard gain. Josh Ball meets him at the line of scrimmage, but he picks up 1. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, good play by the Cardinals defense. They've really bottled up inside running plays, which they had all kinds of trouble doing in the first game, and it's really, forced Phillipsburg into their strength, and that's their speed to the outside.
2 wide receivers on the 2nd and 13 play, closing on 8 minutes to go in our fourth quarter. Panthers holding on to a 10-point lead. Again, Ty Sides goes in motion, gets a handoff, sweeps it out to the left side, has the sideline to the 40, and then he is smoked short of the 45-yard line on a gain of 8 yards out to the 43. Great job by the Cardinals in pursuit on that 8-yard gain by Ty Sides.
Yeah, it looks like...
And a holding penalty will go against Phillipsburg.
Well, one thing you can say, neither team can complain that the other team ain't getting penalties, because these officials are really starting to throw the flags. And that was they mark him for a 6-yard gain, and that's pretty good defense. Keep this kid, once he gets in space to the outside, from going all the way. Cardinals held him to 6 on a 2nd and 12, but that holding penalty was called right at about the tackle, so really sets them deep, 2nd and 20.
Hoisington has been good on the road since Zach Barrett has taken over. 22-6 on the road in Zach Barrett's 5 years, but this is a tough one here for Hoisington. Down by 10 for 8 to go as the Panthers continue to run that clock. 4 wide receivers here for Trey Sides in the gun. Looks to pass, has Moon set up for the screen pass, catches it at the 28-yard line, makes its way to the 30, and then pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Good tackle by Holt Hanslick, as it'll be a gain of about 7 yards for Moon.
Yeah, that was a great call against an obvious pass play. They knew we were going to blitz. We did blitz, and they threw a little screen pass over the top of our defensive end. Cardinals held him on that to a 7-yard gain, brings up a 3rd and 13.
3rd and 13, as Blake mentioned, just over the 35-yard line at the 36 with 7:35 to go in our fourth quarter. 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the near for Trey Sides. He's been talented and made some big plays here in the second half as he launches this one over the other side. A flag comes out. Which way is this one going to go? As that was a push-off on Ty Sides. So they call this against Hoisington Taxton. That is going to be unbelievable, as we'll see which one this one goes. It was a push-off on Ty Sides, and as they have a quick discussion here, that was a 3rd and 13 play. And the pass was incomplete.
Yeah, they threw it after they saw.
No way. They're going to call a penalty against Hoisington as Zach Baird continues to pace his sideline, now just crouches over at the 40-yard line. High sides pushed off on Mason Haxton. It was very clear from up here as the ball went over both of their heads by about 5 yards, and somehow a penalty goes against Hoisington.
Oh, man.
You push on the offense, it doesn't work if you're in Phillipsburg territory at the 48-yard line, as it'll be first and 10 on the penalty. And they go back to the ground game as Gross gets a carry, a stiff arm, but a good tackle by Quincy Cross out near the 37-yard line, as that'll be, or excuse me, the 43-yard line, as that'll be a gain of 6 yards. That is a big play on that 3rd down and 13. A pass interference going against Hoisington on a push-off of Ty Sides. 7:08 to go here in the ball game. A 10-point lead for the top team in the state as they're looking to milk this one away. Fake the handoff to Gross, and somehow Sides avoids the tackler of Josh Ball, and he gets rid of it at the last second, and more flags come out as he tries to zip it down to the sideline to Ty Sides. Well, Josh Ball, he got cleared out by Ragsdale, who's in there for Sharon Ellis, who got hurt earlier this half, and then flags came out on that pass down the left sideline. That was incomplete. Just under 7 to go in the game. 24-14 as Phillipsburg looking to move on to the state championship game, as they're going to have an ineligible man downfield for Phillipsburg. So we're seeing a little bit of everything in the second half. And
you know, the bad thing is
game.
Time's ticking off, and the Cardinals down by 2 scores, you know, and we haven't shown to be a big play offense tonight. And they've, you know, somehow it's 2nd and 9, just inside Cardinal territory at the 47.
Brock Bursch, the starting center here for Phillipsburg, hovers over the football and awaits the cadence call from Trey Side. Gets it, looks to pass on 2nd and 9. Ball near midfield, flushed down the pocket, rolls to his right. Nick Long giving chase, zips it over to the sideline, incomplete as he tried to get it out to Moon, and another flag will come out, and supposedly a late hit by Cameron Schneewise on the quarterback Trey Sides.
This is degenerated into not a football game, but who's going to get the next penalty?
This has turned into an ugly second half here tonight in Phillipsburg as the referees have taken over. It will be a personal foul going against Hoisington, and roughing the passer going against Hoisington's Cameron Schneewise as he hits him out near the sideline.
So that's going to be a 30-yard penalty?
Well, no, it's just going to be that 15 as they mark it off as the personal foul going against Hoisington. So it's been a rough go of it after that 8-minute drive for Hoisington to begin the 3rd quarter that resulted in a touchdown to pull them within 3 at 17-14. Panthers struck quickly a couple minutes after that score, and now a lot of flags coming out in this 3rd and 4th quarter. Handoff goes up the middle, stiff arm, breaking 3 at the 25, and nearly running through Xavier Robinson is going to be Tanner Ragsdale. I mentioned he's in for Ellis, who went out, who kind of looks like he's fighting through some concussion issues, and Ragsdale runs it out to the 23 and a first down.
First play up the gut that's worked tonight for Phillipsburg, but, you know, they've done so many things, it's hard to keep every crease covered, and that time they picked the right crease. A push to the inside, push to the outside, big play up the middle. 1st and 10, Phillipsburg at the Cardinal 21.
Time continues to tick here in the 4th quarter, down to 6:23. Hoisington trails it by 10, and Phillipsburg running downhill at the 22-yard line. They fake the pass out to the sideline, run it up the middle, and Ragsdale is brought down to shy of the 20-yard line on a 1-yard gain. Almost 6 minutes to go in the contest. Hoisington, they need to stop quickly here, down by 10.
Yeah, and the clock keeps on a-ticking. And big penalties, both sides. Have to say a little bit more hurting the Cardinals here in the second half as Phillipsburg knocking on the door. In no hurry right now. 5:48 left in the game. Cardinals down by 10.
2 running backs behind Trey Sides as he awaits the snap at the 25. Turns around, will be trailing Gross. Starts left, cuts it right to the 15. Another juke, then Josh Ball comes out, and another flag comes out on this play by trailing Gross as he wiggles his way out to the 8-yard line on a 13-yard run as of now with 5:34 to go here in our 4th quarter. Hoisington down 24-14. Cardinals scored first here tonight, but then it was 17 unanswered by Phillipsburg as they're up by a 10-point margin at halftime. And if this is a face mask, oh my, Blake, oh my. face mask penalty going against Hoisington, and that'll push it further.
Yeah. I don't know. We've seen a lot of penalties here. A lot of penalties have helped Phillipsburg on this drive. They've overcome a few of their own, but now that gets them down inside the...
Scoots it down to the 4-yard line here for a first and goal situation for the Panthers, as trying to maybe put this one away in this fourth quarter, as Hoisington has not been able to score it quickly as they sweep it out to Traylon Gross. Takes one cut at the 2-yard line, close to the goal line, and he is in. And a touchdown for Traylon Gross, as he was the difference maker back in Week 7, had well over 200 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. He's been held in check here tonight, but he gets the score from 4 yards out and has Phillipsburg on top 30-14 with just over 5 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Yeah, helped enormously by the numerous big penalties called against the Hoisington Cardinals. Half of those yards on that drive came via the penalty, but it puts Phillipsburg up 31-14.
And when Honeycutt goes out on the field, you don't even really have to look, as he was 64 for 68 on PATs coming into tonight. This one was good, but a flag did come out on the PAT.
Really? A flag came out?
Yeah, that was a shocker, Blake. I knew I was going to throw a little spin on this one.
I'd forgotten what color flags were.
Hey, guess who it was against, though?
No.
It was the personal foul against Hoisington on the PAT. 5:14 to go in our fourth quarter. Phillipsburg, they're good, folks. 31-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds on 1490 AM KKAN and 100.7 Eagle Country.
You're listening to the Kansas Class 2A playoff action here on KKN KQMA, as tonight's action features the Phillipsburg Panthers on their quest for a state title. The broadcast is made possible with the support of Panther boosters. Those boosters in part include the Phillipsburg Pizza Hut, making it great, Olabobi Memorial Chapel, and J&R HVAC LLC in Phillipsburg. Keep it right here for more Class 2A playoff action.
As it continues to cool off in Phillipsburg this Friday night for the Final Four Class 2A, Hoisington's hopes of getting to their first ever state championship game are dwindling. 5:14 to go in the game, and after that Traylon Gross 4-yard rushing touchdown, Phillipsburg now on top 31-14, and time is obviously not on their side either, but the biggest thing that we've seen, Blake, is Hoisington has not had those big hit plays. Pedigo has a 32-yard run here tonight, but that has been the biggest play by far for Hoisington. And after that personal foul against the Cardinals on that PAT, it'll allow Honeycutt to kick off at the 45-yard line in Hoisington territory. So this is a guy that can get touchbacks on his own at the 40. We'll see what they do here, if they try to do a placement kick or just boot it through the uprights here for Jonathan Honeycutt. He gets a foot into this one, and he does kick it deep, and Pedigo was back there deep to receive it, but it goes out of the back of the end zone and onto the track here at Phillipsburg. Well, a fairly new facility over the last 4 or 5 years for Phillipsburg, as they used to be further north in town, and that was right off the highway. And they moved a new facility, and they have a nice concourse area as you first walk in, and a really good setting. The grass is in good shape, although Hoisington slipped a lot back in Week 7 when they were here, and it was more of a wet field. It was a drier week in the forecast this week, but that has not been an issue for either one of these teams. It's just been Hoisington unable to finish off drives, some mistakes, and we'll recap everything in our postgame show coming up in just over 5 minutes. Right now, Hoisington, they need to strike quickly. Toss play goes to Donovan, works the far sideline, and he's going to have a first down across the 30-yard line and drags a couple of blue and gold Panthers out near the 33 on a 13-yard run and a first down run for Donovan.
No yellow on that play. That's nice to see. Seen a lot of yellow here in the second half. Cardinals pick up first down. Great fake into the line. Perfect pitch by Boxberger to Donovan, who got the corner at the hash mark.
Donovan with those black socks on, and Xavier Robinson starts in motion. Boxberger looks to throw out to the sideline, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and another flag comes out on this play for Hoisington, as this was a tip ball at the line of scrimmage, so we'll see what the call is going to be. 4:48 to go in our fourth quarter. Hoisington trails it by a score of 31-14 and a holding penalty going against the Big Red Machine.
Against the Cardinals? Wow.
It has become comical here. And Phillipsburg, they have enough talent to win on their own.
Yeah.
That's the problem here in the second half, is you're getting talent pushing on Hoisington, and you're getting a lot of flags, making a lot of these drives for a Hoisington offense against a third-best scoring defense in the state even more challenging for the Big Red Machine. 4:48 to go in the game, 31-14. It'll be tied in to the left side. Dallin Hutchcraft, wide receiver. Mason Haxton out to the right side. Ball on the right hash for the Cardinals going right to left. Pettigo gets the carry, starts left, and then takes the juke back to the middle field to the 30, and then down out near the 33-yard line. So Pettigo picks up the damage from the penalty and brings it to the original line of scrimmage. 4:35 to go in the game, 31-14 Phillipsburg, and that'll be about a 9-yard gain for Pettigo.
Yeah, right up the gut that time. Good spacing at the line of scrimmage. You had space for Pettigo.
So Hoisington will hurry back to the line as we close in on 4:15 to go in the contest. Cardinals down 31-14 as Boxberger runs the trap play out to Donovan as he finds a little bit of wiggle room up the middle and gains about 3 yards, setting up a 3rd and 7 now for Hoisington, down 31-14 with our final 4 minutes upon us.
Yeah, a little wiggle room, but great pursuit coming from the backside as Donovan, coming from the right wing back spot, cuts right over left tackle, left guard, and looked up, and then pursuit hit him, and he got tackled for a short gain.
So the Cardinals making their second appearance in the sub-state round in the past 3 years. After seeing their season come to a close in 2016 to Heston on the road on 3rd and 7, this one whistled a dead with 3:35 to go as Phillipsburg will take a timeout trying to get a late sub in the ball game. It is the Panthers on top, 31-14. Hoisington, they scored first here tonight. Nobody scored in the first period until 1 minute into the second quarter. Mason Haxton had an 8-yard run, put Hoisington on top 7-0 against the top team in the state. Then 17 unanswered points in the second quarter before halftime at Phillipsburg gave them a 10-point lead at 17-7. And then Wyatt Pettigo and Hoisington took up over 8 minutes of the opening drive of the second half and finished it off with a 1-yard Pettigo run into the end zone. Pulled them within 3. Hoisington needing some stops, unable to get it. 2.5 minutes later, Trey Side took up with Traylon Gross for a 38-yard touchdown pass, put them up by 10, and then that last rushing touchdown by Gross has Phillipsburg on top, 31-14 with 3:35 to go in our contest.
You know, Trey Sides, we talk a lot about him as an outstanding football player, and he really is a special football player. You know, going along the first half, not too many big plays by this terrific quarterback, but every play, every scoring opportunity they had, he had his hand in it, and he just made some truly outstanding plays for 3 touchdowns here for the Phillipsburg Panthers to go up 31-14.
So after Peaburg takes the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 7 at their own 36-yard line. 3 wide receivers here to the near side for Hoisington, down 31-14. Boxberg again, screen play set up for Donovan. Has the first down and more to the 40, 45, 50. Makes a juke at the other 45-yard line and then blocked down at the 46-yard line. So good screenplay set up by Hoisington, goes for 18 yards into Panther territory.
Yeah, perfectly. Derek Boxberg's really gotten good at that, at leading the receiver over the defensive pressure coming in on him. And that time, no one was out there for Donovan. Picked up big yards. 1st and 10. Cardinals at the Peaburg 45.
2 by 1, the wide receivers for Hoisington. Pettigo in the slot on 1st and 10 at the Phillipsburg 45. Again, Boxberger through the air. Donovan catches it in the flat, but tripped up on a great open field tackle by Ty Sides as he brings him down for no gain. As Donovan was thinking sideline, Ty Sides says no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was set up pretty good. The timing a little bit wrong on this flare pass to the sideline, because the blocker was out there, which was Wyatt Pettigo, but the ball got there before Pettigo was in position to block, and Sides so quick just knifed right underneath Pettigo and brought him down. It was set up really good. If he had caught the ball and we could have got some kind of block on Sides coming in, make the tackle, I think he would have scored, because there was no one over here but those 3 players.
Well, Hoisington coming on the road, and you look back to that Week 7 matchup, they lost 51-21. They're down 41-0 at halftime, Blake, and I don't think anyone really gave them a chance here tonight. They fought in this one, and the difference, Phillipsburg has scored on their own. Their talented offense has been really tough to stop. That's one issue, but for Hoisington on the other end, we've seen how hard it is to sustain drives against this team, and just too many penalties here in the second half to even think about converting a first down.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
Here's 2nd and 10 after that timeout taken on the field. 3 minutes to go in our fourth quarter, 31-14. As the Phillipsburg Panthers, they won it all in 2015. Looks like they might have a chance once again in 2018 as Boxberger fakes the handoff, drops over to the flat with a catch by Donovan, and he is sticked by Kason Keaton back near the 50-yard line as there'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play. Their leading tackler, a big hit on Donovan.
Well, we ran it to the right, we ran it to the left, and so Keaton, he said, I'm going to shadow him if you're throwing that again, which we did, and he was right there on the reception, brings up 3rd and 13.
So Phillipsburg, you can definitely tell in the second half as they're really starting to fill their own here with 3rd and 13 now for the Hoisington, under 2:30 to go in the game. Robinson starts in motion. He'll go back to the ground game, and getting tripped up is Pedigo out to the 45-yard line on a 3-yard pickup, setting up a 4th and 10 for Hoisington at the Panther 45 as we close in on 2 minutes to go. Hoisington trails it 31-14.
Yeah, what 10-yard play do you have? We can't run the flare pass anymore. We've tried a screen pass to 2 players. We haven't tried anything across the middle. And Wyatt Pettigo's lined up at a wingback.
Yeah, eventually you need to start going downfield a little bit more and get away from those screen passes, but Hoisington with 2 minutes. It's going to be a halfback pass, a toss by Pettigo, then just chucks it over to Avery Brewer, but it goes off his fingertips at the 15-yard line, and pretty good coverage there by Ty Sides as he knocks it away from Avery Brewer. First pass attempt of Wyatt Pettigo's career comes with 1:42 to go in our fourth quarter in Phillipsburg, and the Panthers on top 31-14.
Yeah, great coverage by number 1 over there?
Yeah, Trey Sides.
Trey Sides, great coverage. 6'1", covering Avery, and he went up and right there on the football, and you have to say Wyatt put it right on the money. If Sides hadn't been there, it would have probably been a completion, so why not try it? It was a good try. But as we're in here to 142 left, let's see what Phillipsburg does with his last 142.
It was like a shot put going down the field, but with distance on that shot put by Pedigo as the handoff goes up the middle here for Phillipsburg as they're going to be brought down at the 46-yard line. So Cardinals unable to convert as they turn it back over to Phillipsburg, and they'll try to take these final 90 seconds off the clock as it's a 1-yard gain for Moon out to the 45-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, 2nd and 9. That's 3 plays. That will about do it. They could take a knee for 3 plays and finish out the game.
So Hoisington trying to make the redemption week here in the 4th round of the high school football playoffs in sub-state football. And they had their chances in the second quarter as Hoisington shows blitz on a 2nd and 9. Dive play, Gross breaks the tackle at midfield, and then an ankle tackle saves a touchdown out near the 40 on a 15-yard run by Traylon Gross, and that will definitely do it. 53 seconds to go in the game, and the top team in the state will be marching on to Salina next Saturday afternoon at Salina Stadium.
Well, we had a run blitz. They were in the short, they were in the gun with all 3 running backs right side in the pistol, I guess you'd call it, and we had a run blitz on, and the run blitz wasn't in the hole Gross went into, so he had some space once he got through the line.
And we will see a knee here from Trey Sides as the student section for Phillipsburg down to our left, ready to take to the field as we're under 25 seconds to go in Panther territory, as is Phillipsburg going to get a win, 31-14. And for Phillipsburg, they'll be in their 2nd state championship game in the last 4 years. They won it all in 2015, and they might have state championship on their minds once again in 2018 as they'll knock off the Hoisington Cardinals. Your final in Phillipsburg this Friday night in Sub-State, 31-14. Phillipsburg moves on as Hoisington sees their season come to a close on a cold but not bad Friday night.